Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another live stream. Happy Halloween to all those out there. I hope everybody's having a great day, or had a great day, or is currently having a great Halloween. It's even all the people that aren't celebrating, I hope you had a great October 31st so far, and I hope it continues being great. If you can't tell who I am supposed to be, I know it's a little subtle. It's a little bit of a subtle look, but I am number one. And
I'm a number 5.
see, it's a couple's costume, so it works good. And see, I like subtle costumes where you can kind of just wear some clothes. It makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about really dealing with something else. What's good, Alex? What's happening, everybody? We are going to finish the ghost stories of the different H3 guests. Some of them are amazing, some of them are not. I have, god damn it, I didn't pull up Photoshop. I need to pull up my Photoshop real quick. Do do do. Give it just a second. I just don't know what side it's going to load on. Yep, I knew it was going to load on the side that would have shown if I shown the screen. Can't give you a look at the back end. Only I get to see my back end. Alex said bring number 5 back. I was going to watch the H3 pizza tasting comp. Is that what the new, is that what the VOD was? I hadn't checked yet. Happy Halloween, everybody. Welcome in. Oh, no VOD yet. Oh, you're talking about the pizza tasting compilation that Alex released. I gotcha. That is a great video. People should check it out. But what we have going on today is something special. We're finishing up our ghost story tier list. On the last stream, close that. On the last stream, we got through a few of them. Not a whole lot, honestly. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got through 8. I think there's 20 in total. And we've only had one good ghost story so far. One that was, kind of weak, kind of just goofy. 2 that were just unbelievable. Just kind of, Joji's was like kind of a secondhand source, I'm pretty sure. And then they both had secondhand source stories, but they weren't even scary. Ethan's story was also just a nothing burger. He woke up from a dream and saw a scary face that was in his dream. He had a little bit of dream juice left over. And Jordan Peterson told a story about green beans and being at some hotel or something. A very good one. Steve-O's is going to be good. I feel like Steve-O has to have a good one. Steve-O was doing heavy drugs, doing all types of stuff. But what we have to restart on, where we finished, pulling up the wrong stuff. Where we finished yesterday and didn't truly finish, but we're going to restart the Donna and Gary ghost stories so we can give it a true analysis. I think they both give separate stories, but we are going to be rating them together because I forgot to get separate images for them. Purely the only reason. But let's give it a listen.
I'll start with you, Mom. Do you have any ghost stories?
Hi, Tuggers. Happy Halloween. Rum Tum Tugger, I have to be honest. I didn't know that Rum Tum Tugger was a character from Cats. I also didn't know that Cats was an adaptation of a T.S. Eliot book. That was also, what was it called? The T.S. Eliot one was Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. And then it was adapted into Cats by... What's the playwright? Andrew Lloyd Webber. But I honestly didn't know either of those things. I was surprised when I looked into it more after they brought it up that Rum Tum Tugger was from Cats. You figured that all out on your own? Did you Did you look it up once you like decided that you were going to use that name, or you're like, I got to know what this means first? Rum Tum Tugger sounds like the name of a boat or a locomotive. I just don't know the naming conventions of the Cats movie or the book, so maybe it follows some kind of pattern. But anyways, ghost stories from Ethan's parents.
No, but
Why do you look so excited?
because your birthday present.
Oh, is it about ghost stories?
Might play into that somehow.
Oh.
So you don't have any ghost stories?
Let's
It's
see.
okay, you
I've
don't
had
have
an
to have.
out of body experience, but
Yeah,
that's
tell
not
me about
but that's
that.
not a ghost story.
Well, it's supernatural. How do you explain that? Ghost.
I don't know how
God.
you explain it.
Let's hear about
Okay, so this was a long, long time ago.
How long ago? BG? Before Gary?
No,
Nothing's that long. Nothing
No.
that old.
no.
People
But
don't remember those days.
I was. I don't know if I should
the-
tell this story
Hold on, what's that?
the
Uh-oh.
air.
People are saying the gain on the mics is too much.
Too much gain?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's too loud. It's like tearing. We have a problem with the sound, Dan? Okay. Sorry, guys. We're fixing that. Can't wait to hear about this.
If you say, I don't know if I should tell this story, the answer is no, you shouldn't.
Okay.
No. What? No.
Okay,
Wha-
I'm
oh,
coming-
is it drug related? Drugs
No,
are fine.
no. It's nothing about drugs.
Tell me about it. Let's hear it. This is the juice. This is why we come together. This is interesting. It's rocking.
You seem worried.
It's a little wild and weird.
I don't know if I should say.
La 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 la. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear it. Come on. You can't not now.
Well,
Oh, this doesn't
oh
sound
no,
good.
Do you
I don't
know
know.
what
If
it is,
I
Dad?
don't know if I should.
I have
say.
no idea where she's going.
Whisper
That's
in
why
Dad's
I'm
ear.
scared.
Whisper in Dad's ear.
No.
All
Do
right,
I even
so-
know this?
So the sound is fine.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
sounds back. Okay,
Oh,
then we
I
have.
don't even know
we
it.
need this story.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Come on, how dangerous can it be? Tell us
It
the
could be
story.
really
find out.
dangerous. Can I tell you off the air?
Yeah, sure. Everyone listening would love to hear you tell it off the air. No, you're committed now.
Okay,
can it
people
be?
don't
Let's go.
listen.
Bring it.
Okay,
Let's go.
all right, all
Let's
right.
hear it.
Do you want to write it first for us? And we...
She was.
Zip it, Gary. Hey, Gary, watch your fucking mouth. Madman in chat. What's good? How's everybody doing this fine Halloween?
Ready to tell
Okay,
the
tell
story.
it. Okay, tell the
Let me
story.
call my attorney first.
All
Is
right,
this going
well-
to end in me filing for divorce papers or
No,
something? Okay,
no,
good.
no. Your father and I have been married for 42 years.
42 years.
Wow.
42 years.
Seems like a long time.
Yes. And all marriages have ups and downs. There's no such perfect marriage. And we got married when we were young, and there was a time in our relationship where we broke up for a little bit. I don't know if you remember that.
I mean, I know
it
the
was,
story.
It was like way before you were born.
Are you playing?
He remembers what happened before he was born. I know she just means the story, but I mean, you guys should have been broken up. You shouldn't have been together in the first place. It should have started later.
Stuff.
No, I'm not.
We got together when I was 16, and then, or how old was she? Is that how old she was? She was 16. I was 16, and then I turned 18, and I was like, "Get away from me." He was like, "Bleh." See, I'm not. Obviously, different times doesn't make it okay, but I'm not gonna be like trying to call out Gary. We all know what he's into. We all know he's a true gooner at the end of the day. Subscribe to who knows how many OnlyFans. Only the OnlyFans models know. That Twitter has it been purged? Who knows?
This
Yes,
is like
you
the
are,
fifth
Gary.
time. How
You
are you
can't hear
playing
anything.
audio?
Gary,
What the hell?
ADD.
You're
come on.
chewing, you're playing stuff. This is out of control.
I don't know
Okay.
why you stop. Please
It's
Just
So-
mute it. Just turn off
Yeah,
the sound.
I
of
know.
it.
done.
Here's a
Please.
tip. You gotta mute
Stop.
it.
Just mute it. You could. All right,
Louise.
Mom,
Stop
we're ready.
picking on me.
Oh my God! Well, stop doing what you're doing. So, anyway, so this was a time in my life, a short time, when I was with another person.
Is today's costume the bald guy from The Matrix that ate the steak? It's close. It's close. It's actually number one from Codenamed Kids Next Door. I just smoked the Age cigar. Know what I'm saying?
And I'm number 5.
It works every time. It adds context.
And I was actually in
You guys
bed.
weren't together. You blew it.
Yeah,
No wonder I never heard this story.
I
Please
was
continue.
actually in bed,
Mm-hmm.
and this other person was sleeping, and I was up. At least I thought I was up. Maybe I was sleeping, and I just remember I was somehow I was like flying, and I was looking down on myself and this other person, and I thought for a minute that this was really cool that I was flying, and then I got scared.
'Cause you're like, what the
And
fuck?
yeah, I got scared. And then I remember I took my hand and I tried to grab myself to hold on to not like fly away from my body. And my hand went through
Weird.
my body. And I thought, oh my God, am I dead? What's happening?
Crazy.
And then at the last minute, when I realized that maybe this is not a
dream?
good thing, maybe this isn't a dream, maybe something horrible has happened to me, I screamed out your father's name. I did, I swear to God.
She didn't want to tell the story. Do we think that she just added that on at the end to make him feel better?
I
That's
said,
a wonderful story.
I screamed
Let's
out your
not-
name because I wanted you, and I think we got back together.
You have
afterwards.
such good taste.
Wow, that was a wonderful story. What was the problem with that story?
Well,
I was in
I have
bed
no problem
sleeping
with that
another
story.
Well, you weren't
man.
together. You
No,
had a
we were
breakup.
not.
No, we weren't.
Let's talk about how much fun I had
Never
during
mind.
the
I
disco
don't wanna-
era
I
when
don't
we
wanna
were
hear
broken
about
up.
that.
Hold on, wait. So
I don't
what do
wanna
you
hear
do? You think maybe it could be like a sleep paralysis thing? Maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it couldn't have been real. I couldn't have been flying, but it seemed so real
You
'cause
could
I
have
was
been flying.
I was looking down on myself, and I wanted
You
an
thought
anchor.
you were awake.
Maybe you were
Yeah, I thought I was awake.
maybe you're a warg.
I don't think
You've
so
watched
because
it
I was
too many times.
I wasn't
we're-
in something else. It was just
So-
me. So that was my weird.
How did it end?
I woke up. I was screaming for Dad's name, and then I woke up.
You're not the first woman to do that.
Okay,
Oh,
come on.
come
We're trying to make this a
on.
nice moment.
Jeez.
Christ.
Jeez
I can hear
Louise.
laughter from the
One,
people
one,
over
one
there.
thing happened to me that was really weird. This is when your sister was a little.
Gary Loki seemed a little embarrassed the way he looked down at his phone. He's reading chat, I think.
One,
Yeah,
one,
over
one
there.
thing happened to me that was really.
He's trying to get LOLs from the chat. That's what he cares about.
Weird. This is when your sister was a little baby. She was like,
No, I think she truly loves him and was scared. That is a possibility. I mean, to put up with this for that long, she has to really love him. Even after 10 years of being frozen up from my first ex, I have dreams about desperately trying to find him, and I don't really want anything to do with him. It's weird. I think it's like I think those things happen because of like comfort and stuff like that. You're like it's a normative thing. It's about normative comforts, things that were at one point normal, and like the average thing your brain will just at a point yearn for, be like, what? I think it goes away eventually though. Just give it some more time. I've just been thinking about my ex. That deal was good, huh? I'm sorry. Gary is farming W's in chat, totally.
maybe 4. Well, not a little baby. She was maybe like 4.
Yeah.
But
That's
this
not
was
a baby.
this is before both you and your brother were born.
Mhm.
And I remember I was having a weird dream, a monster dream, and it kind of was freaking me out. And I woke up, and Jessica came into the room, and she said, "Mom, I'm having this monster dream," and she wanted to like crawl into bed with us for security because she was having it was the same dream that
You
I
guys
was
were having
having.
the same dream.
The same dream.
That's bizarre.
that was really weird.
Have you guys spoke about that? Like
all
now?
the time.
Huh.
All the time. We both made. I mean, it was
That's
something we
pretty spooky.
remembered.
Yeah.
Like I've heard about people having the same dream. That's really weird that
And
that can happen.
yeah, and I woke up when she came
Whoa.
into my room and told me that she was having this monster dream. And
Monster dreams.
Yeah.
Very spooky.
yeah, so that's about all.
Did you have any Monster Energy drink that night by any chance?
No, I don't think they had those.
All right, I'm just asking.
Dad, do you have any questions?
It's such a fucking stupid joke. I can't believe you actually made me laugh with that. It even it genuinely got a slight chuckle out of me, but it made me laugh more because of how dumb it was. It's such a dumb joke. Did you have any Monster Energy drink? You're right, Gary.
Stories?
No, not.
You're like me. You're very. I feel like
I'm
you're
very
more,
empirical.
Yeah.
I've just had my weird dream stories like Mom, too, like the one with the movie poster and
Wait, you got
my
to tell that. Do you
biological
mind
father.
telling that
No.
story? 'Cause
Oh, yeah,
I think
the
it's
movie
really,
poster.
it's really.
I do actually remember this story pretty vividly. I remember the first time I heard his story, I was like, wow. Dream stories have always sit with me. I like weird dream stories.
Interesting, and I
Yes.
see the effect it had on you.
Yeah. It's, well, I was, my wonderful mother, Eileen, was way ahead of her time. She got married very young, married her high school sweetheart, who uncle was in the movie industry. His uncle, my biological father's Leonard Katzman. His uncle was Sam Katzman, who was the king of B movies. So my mother, though, was divorced when I was about 4.5 or so. So he became a single mom, divorced, working, and no one did that back in the 50s. And, my father worked for his uncle on doing movies. He ended up going to a lot of fame and fortune. He wrote
Yeah, speaking of cats, Cat's Man. Interesting.
Who Shot JR, anyone who knows Dallas. He wrote and produced, all of the famous Dallas shows. So he had a tremendous amount of success. And I was actually in a movie because of his uncle. He was shooting a movie called The Magic Carpet, which was in probably 1951. And it starred Lucille Ball and Raymond Burr and all these people who no one knew who they were back then. And they needed a baby to be laid on a magic carpet and fly out the window and grow into someone else who had a baby. Well, Lenny Katzman had a baby, which was me. So I was on the magic carpet. I flew out the window. I grew up and I came back as John Agar, who no one even knows now, who I would never have cast to grow up as me. But there you have it. So I knew that there was a poster, something about this movie, but it was so small, you never hear anything about it. It's never on TV anymore. But there's a
Currently pregnant, and I can't even articulate the absolute freak nonsense I've been dreaming about. Apparently super common. I don't want to plague anybody's dreams. I was talking about this yesterday, I think, that I've had a lot of dreams about dying. I die in my dreams a lot. And so I don't think I'll fear it when it comes, In my dream, and you know how they always say, like, you wake up? There's always, like, I feel like there's a bit of a break between me dying and then me actually waking up from the dream. It's interesting. It's I never, like, wake up in, like, a shock. It's always I die and then I, like, wake up and then I remember it, like, a couple minutes later, like, oh, I just died. Crazy. And it's always in different ways. Like, I've had, like, so many different ways. It's usually driving, like, different types of crashing and stuff, which just makes me a very cautious driver. But there's been a bunch of other ways, too. Shot, stabbed, blew up. It happens. But then I also just have very regular dreams sometimes where I'm just like talking to people, having a conversation. I wish I could have weirder dreams. I want to have like a fever dream where I'm having like dinner with Abraham Lincoln or something. I think it'd be cool. Because I have a very creative imagination. I have a very illustrative imagination. I don't know. I can picture things very well. And so in my dreams, things feel real. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Small time movie.
very small time movie, right?
B movie.
Sam Katzman, B movies,
Can you
1951.
even find it on IMDb? Does it even have a page?
It exists, and I always look for it on TV just to see if I was in it. And there's a
Billing.
a company called Heritage Auctions, and they do movie poster auctions and collectibles, and I think they're one of the biggest auction companies in the country. So I put a search in for them.
I always respawn straight into a new dream when I die, and I always remember how I die. See, I had that happen one time where I was in a car driving, and then I like drove off the road, and I instantly like died and reincarnated, but I didn't reincarnate in like a new like as like a baby. I reincarnated into like somebody in the middle of their life, and I was just like in this car all of a sudden, and I was with somebody, and we were speaking Spanish, and I don't know where we were, but we were speaking Spanish to each other. I don't know Spanish at all, but I remember in that moment like hearing it and being like, why do I understand this? And then I think that was the thing that ended up waking me up, because I was like, what's going on?
Them for the Magic Carpet, the movie I was in. And this was, I mean, really almost as soon as the internet started going.
Decades
And Heritage Auctions existed, right, probably 15 years ago at least.
Okay.
Gary the Nepo baby and Ethan the Nepo grandkid. Leonard Katzman's a real dog if you think about it. A true POS, so one might say, because he used his son for like this movie that wasn't like some big, blockbuster hit or something, but used his son for a movie and then just walked out and started a new family and just said like, fuck it all. Hollywood, am I right? That's the business, baby. You didn't fit the mold.
And it was there, nothing. And about
Verga, guante. You know what's funny is verga sounds less like the word itself sounds like it wouldn't mean something as bad, whereas guante you might assume means something. Guante, yeah, guante, like almost like a hush sound. But that almost sounds a little bit more like that sounds like it would be cock. You know what I mean? But verga?
about 6-7 months ago, I had the oddest dream because I was legally adopted by Mike Klein, the wonderful man who raised me, took me as his own child, legally adopted. So I gave up the Katzman name. I never, really even thought, had a dream, had any concepts about, what Lenny was doing aside from Dallas and all that stuff. But about 6-7 months ago, I had a really odd dream where I was kind of like a fly on a wall, kind of an ethereal spirit floating around. And I could see a guy who I knew was my father, Leonard Katzman, standing in front of a movie theater, pointing at the windows they have in front with the posters of the movies there. And he was standing with a bunch of his friends, standing there talking to them, pointing at it. Now, I couldn't, actually hear what they were saying, but I knew as clearly as I'm sitting here looking at you, I knew exactly what was going, that it was my father.
He was, what was it called? Fuck, I just forgot again. Remote viewing. He was remote viewing through space-time. It's what the government was trying to teach its agents. He's just one of the sleeper agents, the sleeper cells. His secret word is guante. That's going to wake him up.
And he was talking to his friend saying, look, this is me. This is the first movie I've looked at. This is pretty cool, right? And I woke up after that.
BF got me a Gary cameo after my dad died, LMAO. So, I mean, you gotta hear from an all right father. One of the I do think it's interesting because I don't know, I'd probably prefer a Gabe one in that. What did he say? What did Gary say? Because I do feel like Gary would try and give some advice or something in that moment.
And it was just very profound, of the fact I had dreamt about my biological father, who I had never, ever had a dream about before.
Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, I did. Let's go back to that.
Okay.
Remind me of that. So, I woke up and I told Mom, I was like, wow, I had the weirdest dream. I was up in the air floating, and I saw my biological father, talking about this, and of course, Mom didn't remember it when I came to her later, and which was very disappointing. But anyway, so about 3 weeks, a month after having this really weird dream, I get a notice from Heritage Auctions after 15 years. The Magic Carpet movie poster is now available.
Yeah, and you've been looking for it all
I've
your
been looking
life.
15 years. I'd had a search up for that.
And how long between that
This
dream?
was like 2 weeks after I had that weird dream
Wild.
of my father pointing at this poster.
Right.
So just, the odds of those things being not connected
It's really wild.
just seem very weird. And again, like you, I'm very empirical. I'm very scientific. I don't believe
where I get
in
it from.
mumbo jumbo. But
don't believe in ghosts.
just, the odds of that happening it just seems so weird that, I believe in the strange contradiction that you control what happens in your life, but certain things are destined or fated to happen, which is a total oxymoron. But that's what I believe. I believe I was destined to meet your mother. Certain things just happen in life. Now, of course, your brother will argue till he can't talk anymore that this doesn't happen. But,
Well, it's a philosophical debate. There's
Yeah.
no correct answer to it.
but to have that dream and then a couple weeks later, after 15 years, to have that movie poster up, just,
That is really,
Pretty
Yeah.
weird.
really bizarre.
I don't
Yeah.
believe in coincidences. And that was just
That one's
too
pretty-
strange of a coincidence. So now I have that movie poster. I actually should
You
have
bought
brought
it.
it with me.
Yeah.
I bought it.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
I bought it.
love
And one, so it came up for auction. So I bid on it like $25, $30. And someone bid against me. And it's like, dude, I don't know who
I
you
had
are.
the dream, Doug. I
Yeah.
had the dream.
Everyone else in this movie is dead. So I know you have no connection because I was only 6 months old when this movie was made.
Right,
So,
right.
maybe some people are alive, but, no one has any interest. And it's like, dog, I'm winning this poster. I don't care how much it
So
takes.
how high did it get?
And it ended up only costing me like $50 or something.
He wasn't that invested.
Yeah, exactly. That's
He
what
didn't
I
have any
figured.
dreams about it,
Right.
probably.
Yeah, no
So I
dreams.
have it. I haven't gotten it framed yet.
Yeah, we need to get it framed.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It was nice to have
So-
that after thinking about it for so long.
We have a phrase for these types of scenarios Gary is talking about. Either you believe in it or you'll explode. Yeah, like trying to prove the trying to prove that it truly was just that 1 in a trillion chance, whatever the whatever the chance may be. It's like it's not worth it when you could just say like, hey, leave it up to it was something in the universe maybe. And that's why I like what I was talking about a bit yesterday, that for me it's like about hope. Like I can just kind of it might not necessarily give a like a super happy like a resolve of like everything, but it's more of that like it kind of helps with the solemn feeling. You don't feel as stuck because you don't need to be stuck. You don't need to, it doesn't matter that much. But where do I want to put Gary and Donna? Gary and Donna, I think, are somewhere. I think they're in the B category because their story wasn't goofy. They're actually a little bit sweet and kind of come from a nice place. So I think that they might be fitted for B. I think B might be a good place to throw them because isn't as like it's not ghost related like Post is, but I remember Leah's story was very much just kind of a funny. What did she say? She said she saw an Easter Island head. She saw an Easter Island head by the side of her bed, similar to the other stories of waking up like Ethan's. See, the reason I put Ethan in E is because his name starts with an E, and he's a non-believer who wants to tell a story. He wants to tell a story about his ghost story. Come on. Oh, I forgot we had to rate these. Yeah, we'll see how this goes at the end. We'll see if we have any in S, any that really are truly terrifying. Because the fact that Posts wasn't says something, I think. But the next one up is Steve-O. All right, here, let me do this real quick. Let me take all of these. Just move them all up. 1, 2. I was going to try and select all of them, but then I didn't want to accidentally mess it up. go. Just put them all in place so we're ready to go. So, Steve-O.
Any ghost stories?
Yes, and holy shit, do I ever.
Let's hear it. Let's go.
All right, I was gonna, and thanks to this got me off a thing I didn't want to go to anyway.
Some of this comes down to the storytelling ability of the person who experienced it. That's true. That is true. If you're not able to like express the story in a good, like, in a scary way, then it might come off more goofy than it maybe even was in the moment.
Anyway,
Oh shit! Now I'm intrigued.
dude, well, here's the thing,
This is
okay?
like the most like tangented conversation.
Like I have the most fucked up ghost stories ever.
Well, we gotta go there.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta go there.
When I was doing drugs, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I did drugs to the point where I was hearing voices, okay? Like, it's called, the technical term for this would be psychosis. Where
Just a total mental.
and what's so peculiar about the phenomenon of psychosis, which is characterized...
I like that he says this like it's it's an unknown term. No one's. So the technical term for this is actually psychosis. For those of you who are unaware, and I understand some people might be unaware, but I feel like it's one of the most basic terms when you start learning about like mental illness and the different types of mental illness, and like the different types of mania and stuff, like all that type of stuff.
by auditory hallucinations where you're hearing voices, visual hallucinations. I was watching people walk around my apartment, people who were never there. I was watching.
Yeah, medication-induced psychosis. Well, he was just hitting laughing gas all day. Bro was hitting that Nas all day. Steve-O might be the reason that, what the fuck was it called? I don't even want. I just remembered what it was called, and I don't want to give him credit. The gas stuff that they sell at head shops. You know what pissed me off? I went to a head shop. I went to like a bunch of different smoke shops looking for I don't even remember. It was like a small pipe or something. It was something that they didn't have at a couple different smoke shops, but they're selling like fucking gas canisters and shit to people, and I'm like, bro, how do you guys not have like, I think maybe we were looking for a one hitter or something. I don't remember. It was something pretty simple that I remember a lot of smoke shops having most of the time. He makes me want to go on a vocal rest. I heard him explain once that he thought, because people thought maybe it's because he did so much nitrous oxide that his voice ended up like this. But apparently he talked to a doctor, and the doctor told him that he's just using his vocal cords wrong. So he just talks like this all the time. That hurts my throat so much.
Walk through walls. They staged like an intervention on me at one point.
They staged a fucking intervention on me at one point. He's just literally talking with his throat closed. Yeah, dude.
Had
What?
fucking an apartment full of people who were there
Oh my God.
to have a
you-
formal intervention, but they were never
Were you-
fucking.
Yeah, whippets are, I mean, it is whippets, but I'm talking about the ones that they've literally started like selling in the crazy big ass canisters and stuff. It is just a whippet, but it's to the next level.
there.
Were you
Oh my
aware
God.
that they
Oh,
weren't there?
dude,
at
I
the
watched
time?
them. I watched them motherfuckers.
Did you think it was real?
Yo, he should just talk like that. If he talks like that, he wouldn't have a problem with his voice. If he just talks like this all the time.
They were never
Were
fucking
you
there.
were you
Oh my
aware
God.
that they
Oh,
weren't there?
dude,
at
I
the
watched
time?
them. I
Oh, dude, I
watched them motherfuckers.
Did you
come-
think it was real, or were you
I
aware?
knew
that
it
you
was real.
hallucinated?
I knew it was real, and to this fucking day, it was real. To
It
this
felt
fucking
that
day,
real.
it was real.
But in retrospect, you're like, that was obviously a hallucination.
Totally fucking spiritual entities.
Okay.
Right now.
So
this
wait,
is
you
why
don't
they're-
think it was a hallucination? You think they were real spiritual entities?
The fucking line is completely blurred.
Okay,
The
understood.
line is completely fucking
it,
blurred,
got
and I think that the reason why I
Well, I think a lot of people think that drugs like tap into the spiritual realm or whatever, and that's what people think about like DMT and salvia and stuff. going and talking to the machine elves and things like that is like tapping into this incorporeal state that is like maybe part of the afterlife or what have you. And the idea of ghosts and stuff is then those entities or whatever then tapping back into our realm. Horrifying.
I'm seeing them as hallucinations is because they're real.
Do you think that the drugs like open your mind?
I
in
think that
some
I
way?
think the drugs. That's why I'm like with psychosis, like meth, whether like meth will do it, cocaine, particularly on the third straight day of a cocaine.
You know what? I trust all of you to not be stupid and do whip it. So I'm gonna just say, I know you guys are talking about like the big, like hospital grade canisters of nitrous oxide. Like you get them from dentist office and stuff. That's where like a lot of people will get them from. But then you can also get them from like working at like certain restaurants and stuff if they make their own whipped cream because they'll have like the big cans to do it. But what I'm talking about specifically, and do not do this because it's bad, is the galaxy gases that they have where it's nitrous oxide. And I think they are supposed to be used for cooking, but it has like flavored, like they're making them like vapes. Like you can like pick like, I want a strawberry cream whippet. It's actually insane. I think Steve-O would be dead if they had that back in his day.
Bender with no sleep, like while inhaling like nitrous oxide to the exclusion of air as much as possible.
Right.
When shit would really pop off.
Interesting.
Shit would pop off.
Did you invite it?
At one point, okay, the first time I had like a spiritual like intervention where it was like, okay, I was sitting and I was inhaling nitrous oxide and I was doing cocaine and I had been doing so for 2 to 3 days. I was in a chair that spun just like this one, and I was sitting in front of a big pile of cocaine, and I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to myself, as I go to snort another ridiculous.
As I'm hitting rails, rail after rail after rail, I see a ghost. I have to say, Steve-O, this one's kind of just, it's a no from me.
Helping of cocaine, I thought to myself, wow, I'm killing myself. Like there is no longevity in.
Oh, okay, so maybe he sees a good spirit here. Maybe he's gonna see like Archangel Michael or something. Archangel Gabriel will come to him.
I'm dying. I'm dying here. Like this is me killing myself, and I'm dying. And I thought very specifically, because I'll never forget this. I thought, I don't care if I die, and I just leaned over to go fucking right now. As I thought, I don't care if I die. Like as a reaction to those specific words that I thought to that thought, like. Physically, the spinning chair I was in as I went to it fucking spun. It was like there was a big, strong dude who fucking spun the fucking chair. I was like,
Here's the thing. That is a crazy story, but you were also spun. So, like, it loses a bit of credence, a little bit of credibility here.
It was like with the power.
Yeah, the pile of coke just looked like a ghost. I hope that's what it was. He was just like looking at you, it's moving. Like the grains were just starting to fall. It was having a coke avalanche. He's like, it's a ghost.
Or as if it was like a fucking mechanical bull. It was just like a fucking spun, and like, and it was. Now, granted, this was a tactile hallucination, meaning not like here, but you feel it. Mm-hmm. I know fully well that if there was a surveillance camera in my apartment at that time, it would not reveal this experience that I had.
Right.
Like, I'm clear on that, but it fucking happened.
What
There's
do you
no
mean
question.
it wouldn't reveal? Like, you never spun at all? You think it would show?
My experience was that I did, but if
You
someone
think
else was
would
there,
show
the
that
camera
it was
like,
just still.
Like, I'm right. Like, it didn't. Like, I know well enough to know that like.
I'm super confused because for what I thought he was saying for a second is like it would probably look like I kicked it or something, like I did the spin, but now he's saying like the spin didn't even happen. He just imagined it in his head. And what if I spun around super quick? I could have totally imagined that that's what was coming to his head while he's just super coked up. Getting a call. Oh, random number. Get out of here.
This is an experience that I had.
This is why I don't use my actual number. I get so many just calls from random things. calls and texts from random numbers, people trying to sell me stuff, people trying to buy things, trying to buy properties for me. I don't own any properties.
that was outside of the dimension that we're in, right? And like it was so clear when this happened that like I thought, I don't care if I die, and then just whoa, you know, it was like think again, motherfucker, like think again.
So
like this was completely in response to that. I don't care if I die. It was like think again, like you, like the message was clear that there is some entity that distinctly cares that I not die.
What was
like
your
think
reaction?
again. I was like, fuck, you know, like something powerful as fuck just spun this thing.
Did
because,
you take the line?
Well, yeah, of course. Of course, but something powerful as fuck wants me to live. Wants me to see the importance of
Yeah.
of don't not care. Like I should care. Something wants me to care about living. Like I gotta live for something. Dude, I had, and I think it might have been later that night. Well, no, it was another night when I had the formal interview. Dude, I had a shoe sponsor, and there was these cubby holes, a whole wall of shoes, and like the mess, the in my apartment, shit was just going off, and all these shoes were sitting there like tapping their toes, like okay, throw away the drugs. They're all impatiently tapping their toes, like okay, throw away the
Oh
drugs.
my
you know?
god.
Like,
I'm wondering if he's gonna tell this story. Does he tell the one story of the? Is it on this podcast that he tells the story of a globe? Because if at the end of this, I'm gonna tell the story that he's told before, and it's one of my favorite drug stories that he's told.
and I'm just watching it happen. And all this shit, it's like, okay, wait, hold on, is that happening? And I would think, that's really crazy that that's fucking happening. And I'd look again and like, yep, sure enough, it's still happening. Like totally, like inanimate objects were communicating to me. And now they're
And again, you feel like in that situation with the security camera, the shoes aren't moving.
correct,
Yeah.
100% correct. And so like it's spiritual entities, ghosts, like whatever, like my spirit friends. There were different classifications of them. There were
My spirit friends.
angels, clearly angels that cared about me living, and they would even say in my ears, like, "Hey, we're worried about you. You know, like, like you're killing yourself, and it's not okay." And they were very loving and angels, and they were like rooting for me. That's like really what I prayed to this day. Like, you know, like when you go to rehab and they say you have to have a higher power, like you know, like whatever spun that fucking chair is just I pray to that. You know, something that cares about me. So there were the angels. Then.
See, I mean, I've always said that I think that the God and the devil are just the two parts of our our intuition or our introspection on some level. It's that thought that you have on both degrees of something that's the right thing to do, and those moments where you say, fuck it, I don't care, and you do the wrong thing anyways. And it's turning against those thoughts of fuck it, I don't care, and about trying to do the right thing and listening to that good voice that's telling you what's good and what's right to do and how to benefit yourself and others. That's the way I've always perceived it.
And there were demons. For sure there were demons. Like the voices were telling me like fucking suffocate yourself to death. They were urging me to kill myself. And it was like super dark and gnarly and
I've done a ton of psychedelics and have had only like visual experiences on salvia, and one time, I've told the story before, it was my first time ever hitting a bong, and I was smoking weed. They told me it was weed, at least. I don't know if it was salvia, maybe, but it was the first time I ever hit a bong, and I cleared a bowl, like a gram bowl, by myself, one hit, and then I lived 1,000 lives, and the last life I remember that I was living is I was a bald man, kind of how I am now, except I was fully bald. I was a fully bald man in like my mid-30s, you know, just kind of like average 30-year-old bald guy, and I walk up to my fridge, and I open the fridge, and as I open the fridge door, I literally remember looking up and seeing all the people sitting across from me, and in that moment, I went, I gotta go home, and I stood up, and I walked home. I walked like probably a half mile home, probably about a mile home, honestly. It wasn't like super far, like it was just like one straight road, but it was probably about a mile. And I don't remember walking home at all, but I do remember when I got home, my brother had come outside and was like, what are you doing? And I was just like, you want this weed? I don't want it. They'd given me some, and I was like, you want this? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he took it. He didn't complain about it, so I'm assuming it was fine. But I tripped out on that. And then on salvia, I've told the story of me flying down a hallway, And there were conveyor belts on either side and infinity signs, and they had Russian nesting dolls on them that were people telling me to get to the end of the hallway. They were like, get to the end, you need to get to the end. But I wasn't like worried or scared or anything, but I was just like, oh, they want me to get to the end. I need to get to the end of this hallway. But those are the only 2 times where I've had like heavy hallucinations. Other than that, it's literally just been like fractally stuff, you know. Like I've done it a lot at night, so you know, going and stargazing and looking at the stars like turning and things like, you know, moving around. That's like probably some of my favorite. But I gotta say that I've always loved going out and doing psychedelics, like doing drugs, for the reason, I don't know if Steve-O tells it in this story. I'm kind of worried if I tell it. I think it might be. I think it's this one. Because it's a story, because literally my thought when I've ever like been out on LSD or something, like been out like the mall or something, or at IKEA, hanging out at IKEA on LSD, it's like fun for me because like I'm in this kind of like weird state, you know, weird state where it's almost like you're almost like in a walking cartoon or something, you know, something like that. It's a very but also a very, what I've always said is, for me, mushrooms feel like a earthy kind of body experience, where LSD feels very clinical and heady. And that's why I've always liked going into businesses and stuff on LSD, because I feel like it's almost like clinical, like I'm in some kind of like a setting and stuff. I like IKEA a lot for that reason. Even when I'm not on LSD, just being in like a fake thing, just being in a fake set. I tried a DMT pen once. I just kind of stared at the sunset for a bit and felt pretty relaxed. But I was also scared of taking too much, so I didn't I didn't get a crazy experience. Weed only, women only. Test your drugs, everybody. W ghost story. Yeah, I know these are great ghost stories, right?
Super scary.
Have you done DMT? That shit gives you visuals. Fire ghost story. My mom did that with drinking, and then she just Yeah, I mean, it's good to have some kind of source that you draw from, and I think that's what religion helps with a lot of the time, is people that need some kind of source to draw from. Because if you can't draw from yourself, or you know, you look down on parts of yourself in that way, you need that outward thing to pull on. When I stopped acknowledging I was having a bad day, I stopped having bad days. Yeah, I mean, if you don't focus on the negative, you kind of end up being able to appreciate the positive a bit more. Psychedelics are super easy to get in Vancouver. We have tons of shroom stores and some stores that carry LSD, DMT, and more. Wow. Yeah, I mean, test stuff out. Not test stuff out. I mean, I meant test stuff is what I meant to say. Test your drugs to make sure you're actually getting legitimate stuff, because you don't want to be taking like experimental chemicals, you know, test chemicals and stuff. Where would your ghost story rank? I need to do the upload for your TikTok today. I made one for the one you told on the Palestine fundraiser. I made an edit of that. Not like a very crazy edit. It's just you telling the story and then a happy Halloween thing at the end. But I think your story would rate. I think your ghost story of the ghost soup story, I think that's your best ghost story. I think that one would rank probably S or A, because it's something that happened to you, something that's inexplicable, and like was like corroborated in the sense of your mom confirming that it wasn't her, even though it would have been like the only woman to give you soup late at night. So I think yours would rank pretty high. How high would mine rank? My ghost story, we all know.
Then, and I would probably classify this as demons as well.
All my psychedelics came from Vancouver, LOL.
Oh, but much more fun. They like trickster spirits. Like shit, they would just fucking entertain me. That same chair that I was in, right? Like the spinning office chair, which was, I had a big dining room table like this with the computer set up with the TV on the wall. And that fucking chair, while I was in it, just caught fucking fire, just engulfed in flames, and the flames didn't hurt. It was just they're showing off like cool shit for me. Like, it was just like, whoa, the chair, and I'm checking it out. Like, sure enough, it's on fire. The whole fucking chair is just on fucking fire. And I'm like, whoa, fucking cool. I just wanted to do more drugs and pile more. That's why I classified these as demon spirits, because
Tricksters.
they just tricksters.
Enabling you.
They wanted me to. I loved it. So all this fucking shit was so cool. There was so much of it, like lights that were never even there ever were just flashing. It was a.
Have you ever been given a wedgie before? What's the story? I don't think I've ever been given a wedgie before. I think one time I gave myself a wedgie because I was like, I think I was a kid and I was like, what do wedgies feel like? And I gave myself a wedgie and I was like, oh, interesting.
Fucking light show, just like bomb, 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 bomb. The curtains are opening and closing on their own. The whole place is going fucking nuts, and I'm like, whoa, this is the fucking coolest party ever. Like, and I just want to do more drugs to keep the shit happening. I had this.
That's insane.
His eyes are like watering. He's thinking about it. He's like, I miss that shit so much.
That didn't scare you? Like
I loved it. I loved it too much. At certain times, it got scary. There was a lot of fucking dark, creepy, scary shit that went down too. Like,
Were you by yourself usually when the shit was going down?
Always.
Just you,
Always.
party.
There were a couple times, but the other person, if they were there, they wouldn't be privy to it. It would be like, you know, there's like there are like rules for the spirits. But I had this.
Huh. What are the rules?
They're
Hearing it from Steve-O after having done all these drugs and stuff, like his experiences after he's done all these drugs, it shows you why there are so many like homeless like addicts in that way, because they're like chasing the dragon, you know what I mean? That like literally and metaphorically, they're looking for dragons. They want to see it again. They saw something crazy and they want to just feel that high again. And I tell you, it's a lot. I mean, Steve-O has gotten out of it only later in his life, and he's a fucking like as a millionaire, or whatever his net worth is now. I'm sure it ain't too crazy, but it's been up there. I'm sure it's gotten up there.
They're not supposed to interfere with.
They can't physically affect.
They can't like manipulate they can't interfere with free will. They can't like manipulate things to alter the course, you know. So really they've got
Are those rules you learned from interacting with them?
yeah, and they weren't supposed to like say anything. They're like, and it's like the committee, and you can hear them kind of, you know, but like. And they're in another thing, but if you do enough drugs, that's why the same thing happens if you're on meth as if you're on.
See, I think I'm very skeptical about stories, and that's why it takes but that's why I'm willing to give like truly unexplainable stories like the past, because it's like sometimes it truly is like beyond explanation, and you can give like a million reasons of like, well, maybe, but then again, you are just arguing that like 1 in a trillion chance that yes, it was that 1 in a trillion chance. Yeah, that's also a possibility, but there's also that 1 in a nonillion chance that there's ghosts. You know, that's also possible in the grand scheme of things.
Coke, or even like sometimes the alcohol, like all roads lead to the same place. If you do enough drugs, if you fuck yourself up enough, even PCP, like you erode the barriers between us and these entities, you know, and then you start experiencing. That's why I still believe it's real, dude.
Well, I think the part that speaks to that is like people talk about having shared experiences on like DMT and stuff, which is
Dude,
interesting.
like some of the other trickster shit was fucking badass, man. Like I had this globe, like the Earth, and the base of it, I drilled to a skateboard, and then the skateboard I drilled
This
to
was
the
the
wall,
story.
so
This
the
was the
globe was
story.
coming out, protruding like this. I sat there and looked at that fucking globe, and I watched my own face, like the liquid Terminator in the globe, like came pushing out.
God.
It came pushing out like the fucking globe was, and my face came pushing out, and then started headbanging. The globe's going boom.
And you weren't scared. You were like,
I was like, whoa, like whoa, yeah, yeah.
And that's the thing is, I think it takes this mentality to do drugs, because I'm this way on drugs too, where if I see some crazy shit, I'm not like freaking out. I'm like, that's awesome, because I know that it's because of the drugs. So I'm not like overly sensitive to the like this out there concept. But I think there are too many people that aren't willing to like give themselves up in that way, and it's like you have to be willing to kind of mentally lose yourself for a bit and give yourself up to the experience. Because like I'm saying, like even when I was on Salvia and I was like flying down this hallway, I wasn't scared, and I think that that's like the main thing that you want to make sure of. Because when I came out of it, I was like, whoa, what just happened? I need to go outside. I need to go like take a breath of fresh air, because like it was so like jarring. I was literally going like, was this real? Is this real life or was that real life? Is this real life or was that real life? That's how like crazy the experience was. Because like I remember what I did was I was laying on a bed and I had a beanie over my eyes. I took like 2 or 3 hits, like deep hits, and then on like the last hit that I took, I felt my chest start raising up, and then it just didn't stop. Like it felt like my chest went, and then infinitely kept going, and then I stopped feeling my body. And then that's when I started experiencing all this, like, I saw a lot of fractals and stuff at first, but then it opened up into this conveyor belt hallway thing with the Russian nesting dolls.
Yes,
God, can you imagine watching
Dude,
back
I got
tapes?
goosebumps. I got the gnarliest goosebumps.
Can you
Like,
imagine
it was
watching
so
a tape
dope.
back of you? Like,
Oh yeah, and I would make my own
Can you
videos.
imagine that?
Dude, like I would make
You
my
would
own.
film it.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, like
Do those exist
You,
still?
oh yeah, dude. There was a whole documentary that was made about my downward spiral and psychosis, and ultimately to my
and that
intervention.
footage of you like interacting
Yeah,
with the
and dude,
spirits.
what the footage reveals is me reacting to a lot of this stuff that like.
There was a video you were watching with Alex where you said, "That's me getting a wedgie with my friend." Oh, I don't remember saying that. That's pretty funny. I don't remember saying that at all. I might have just been making a joke. I don't know.
There's nothing there.
But it's not there, but you can tell. I'm like, whoa,
Totally
whoa, you know, and I'm like,
Wow.
yeah. So I mean, there's a million.
That's
When I snorted meth all the time, my BF's dad was constantly chasing police cars that didn't exist. Hey, you gotta catch them.
Million fucking things,
that
dude.
So
is
what is it?
crazy.
Okay, so in this world where these spirits are real, like what is their motivation? What are they doing like on the other side? And why is it so compelling to them to come interact with people on drugs?
I think that it's the people who are on drugs that they have
They're
access
receptive.
to.
So what's
They have
enticing
access to
them?
like the.
They get like a signal. They're like, I can talk to this person.
Well, yeah, they don't have access to. Like the.
And not everybody.
Right, I think like and I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just out of my mind. But,
No, and I mean, it's
but,
your
uh,
personal experience.
Right,
that's
right.
fascinating,
My experience, my belief, is that the barriers are you know, like for you. You aren't aware of them because you've got these barriers in place which you
Yeah.
have not eroded
Right.
to the point where you can become
You need to fucking do more crack. You've only done crack once, Ethan. You need to do more crack to erode those barriers in your mind.
aware of them. So I would
And
say
there-
You need to erode your mind more.
They're aware when your barrier is down.
for sure.
Got it.
And what's their motivation? I think with the trickster stuff, that just made me so hungry to keep that shit happening. I just want like this all like just even the voices, everything, like the people walking around. I watched a fucking dude come out. Like I lost my mom in 2003, and you know, it was like really kind of a traumatic thing for me. Not that I lost my mom, but the last 5 years of her life where she's.
It still has something to do with his mom. I thought he was going to talk about something completely. Yeah, it wasn't about my mom dying, but he is talking about the loss of his mother, which was the actual, where the grief came from, which I understand.
She survived an aneurysm, and she was very fucking damaged. Like she was physically and mentally horribly disabled, and had bed sores, and it was just fucking terrible. Like she was in great pain, and her last 5 years were traumatic, and that fucked me up a lot. At one point, when I was in this apartment, like in my fucking psychosis, I watched a dude come out of the bathroom. He walked right behind me. He stopped, and as my interpretation, he went like that, right? Which I interpreted to be like he stopped and fucking paid respect to my mom, and then turned. He kept walking through the apartment. I watched this fucking dude pick up the bong, take a hit, blow out smoke, put it back, and then fucking walk through the wall. Motherfucker was never there, dude.
So, okay. Steve-O, I'm sorry. I was hoping for something good. I think I have to put you in E just because those were not ghost stories. Those were drug stories. They were good drug stories. You know, you're a good storyteller. Those were very interesting stories. We do love hearing about drugs, but those were not ghosts that you saw. Those were hallucinations. Which, again, I guess his point is that it's all together. It's all tapping into the same realm. But I think that it's more compelling when you're not under the influence of substances, or like I'm saying, if you were on like DMT or something and had a shared experience with others, that would make it more a little bit, yeah, the chillest ghost ever. Bro ripped a bong and then walked through a wall. What was the issue? Why would you be afraid of that? He seems dope. He seems like a really nice guy. Oh, that wedgie. I completely forgot we did that. Yeah, I did get a wedgie in that video. So true. The whole point of that was we were trying to see if they could deadlift our body weights while giving us wedgies. There isn't much of a story to it. It was just an idea we came up with. Give me a sec. Oh, it's gonna be like impossible to find now. There we go. Do. Which one was it? It wasn't this one? As you can see, I was a bit heavier than him. So I didn't get it too bad. It really stretched out our underwear there, though. I'm pretty sure we didn't wear underwear after that. I had to take mine off. Went commando. There we go.
Do you have any ghost?
So the next one, the biggest of the day, a ghost story with Humongous. Let's see Humongous' ghost story.
Ghost stories, supernatural, natural experiences in your life.
I had one last night.
Are you serious? All right, here we go.
There's this beautiful woman that came from the sky, and she came into Van Nuys with brown eyes.
Where is that video? You gotta go looking. It's just on YouTube. How do I forget about a wedgie like that? I don't know. I've done a lot of things. It all blurs together.
Who are you? Who? And I'm not kidding. I'm for real. And I'm in this garden.
Wait,
I need to hear this again. I need to restart. Sorry.
Ghost stories, supernatural, natural experiences in your life.
I had one last night.
Are you serious? All right, here we go.
There's this beautiful woman that came from the sky, and she came into Van Nuys with brown eyes, and she says, "Who are you? Who?" And I'm not kidding. I'm for real. And I'm in this garden.
Wait, I'm tripping balls right now. Hold on.
I'm in this garden.
The line between reality and dream is getting
No,
too
this
blurred.
is dream. This is dream, reality dream. And so I'm in this garden that I used to work at, and there's this woman complaining that we cut the wrong stuff down. And
it's not a big good endorsement for Rudy's garden.
And I don't know where this place came from, and then she realized that, oh, the garden is okay. Who. And I wake up and I got drool and spit rolling out of my mouth because I thought it was so for real.
Okay, that
but
was
the dream. But the
okay.
ghost that entered my head, it goes like that cat stuff. It kind of went through and sort of tasted her, and it kind of went all over the pillow and stuff. But
So that was a dream you
from my
had.
mouth. Yeah, it was a dream. That's a ghost story.
That is a spooky spook fest.
So who knows? It could happen.
Could that count as a night terror? Because it doesn't.
I wasn't expecting Eric from Internet Comment how to get to be here. Was he in the beginning? Was he in any of the rest of this clip? I was not expecting it to cut to him.
Well, it sounded
Terrifying.
wonderful.
But it's got like the.
Well, it was dressed in white and covered down. Honey, honey. So many inches all around, babe, babe.
Oh my goodness.
Dressed in white and covered down. Honey, so many inches all around.
But it's
humongous, will you be mine? Oh, oh.
damn. Let's just all leave and let him continue on.
That's spur of the moment. That's spunk.
It's Humongous FM.
Not junk.
Humongous
That's not
FM.
junk. That's spunk.
So the
Was Humongous Canadian? Nah, he's from Seattle. He's a big Seattle guy. Wasn't he running for mayor or something?
real nightmare was that you had cut down the wrong tree.
Well, yeah, I've done that one. That was
That wasn't a nightmare.
that's a reality.
That was that
That was a
morning.
reality. Excuse me, but I think it's nice. No, I swear you said, oh no, and you should have seen us hottest summer, digging out that stump and replanting the tree, and now the tree's beautiful.
Oh, you dug out the wrong one and then you had to replant it.
Replant it.
That
We
is
cut
a
it
good
down.
endorsement.
That
Cut
is
it down.
at Rudy's garden. If we dig out the wrong one, we'll plant it right back.
You
It'll look
won't.
great.
You
And it's gonna
won't
look-
be
yeah.
undersold.
You won't be undersold.
Growth and opportunity for all when it comes to the garden.
I feel
don't-
so bad
God
for
damn
this.
it.
Do you have any ghost
I
stories?
don't know what the fuck that was. I've got to
Before
be
you
honest.
leave, do you have
I know these are brutal rankings. I'm sorry. We just haven't seen a good one yet. We really haven't gotten anything too fire, anything too heat. I'm sorry, Humongous. We're gonna sick Zarna on you now, just for you. Was that her name? I hope that was right. God damn it.
a ghost story?
A ghost? Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
Have you
I
ever
don't
had a
believe in
paranormal?
ghosts.
You don't believe
You
in
don't
ghosts.
believe
But
in
what's
ghosts?
something paranormal?
Paranormal, otherworldly.
Wait, there was this one time.
Yeah, he just asked. Wait.
Before you leave, do you have a ghost story?
A ghost? Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
Have you
I
ever
don't
had a
believe in
paranormal?
ghosts.
You don't believe
You
in
don't
ghosts.
believe
But
in
what's
ghosts.
something paranormal?
Paranormal, otherworldly.
Wait, there was this one time, but it wasn't to me. Okay, it wasn't to
So flow like Antonio.
me. My friend, I used to live next to a friend, next door neighbor, and they like texted me and they're like, "Dude, you have to come over here, blah blah blah." And I wasn't there when this happened, but you know, all of a sudden, apparently, like they were just like sleeping, and they're passed out, and the screen door or like the sliding like glass door just cracked, and it didn't sound like something hit it, or I don't even know what it was, but they looked around. There was no rock or anything that hit it. There was nothing. I was like freaked out because I'm like, dude, like what, did someone come and like hit your glass like sliding door or something? Or I don't think those things just break. But that's probably like the weirdest thing. I mean,
You weren't there.
I feel like there's always explanations to things. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
that
do
type
too.
of guy.
I
So
do
for me, I'm just kind of like I wave it off. I'm like, probably was that.
But the weirdest thing was that.
How about you guys? You have someone?
Not
No,
really. No,
we're-
I
we're
don't.
like that,
Which is kind of
though.
why it's interesting because we bring guests on here and they sometimes have really incredible spirit ghost stories. And we're like non-believers.
Yeah,
So we
I'm the
find it
same way.
interesting.
I'm the same way. Like people have told me like crazy stories. I'm like, dude,
There's
you
gotta
need to
be.
settle
There's
down. Like you missed something, or like if it's real coincidence. I don't know. Like I forgot what it was. I've heard some really weird ones where it's like, oh yeah, like this happened to like my grandmother or whatever, and like it happened to my father or some like,
Yeah.
crazy stuff like that. And it's just like, come on,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
Even like with the technology, as technology like evolves, like you realize that like these ghost stories and all that stuff kind of like die out. There's like a lot of fake ghost stories,
Yeah.
but like in general, like you know, maybe the people believe it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's fake, but to them they believe it.
It's
you know?
real to them.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the difference?
I don't even know if that's a good ghost story. E. I want to put that below E. It was a bad story that wasn't his. It literally, I mean, honestly, the way he described that, it could have just been that the glass cracked because of like weather change, like pressure change or something. Weak sauce. Just like all of SoFlo's content. I'm trying to just pull up OBS.
Ghost stories.
Mm.
So me and Ela are skeptical. Obviously, we're haters. We hate everything. Clearly, you've spent enough time with us now today to know that.
You're not haters.
Oh, I should say Jenna and Julian. Jenna Marbles and Julian Solamita.
You're very rational.
I'm skeptical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jenna?
I think I'm skeptical to a fault, to be honest. It's kind of annoys myself sometimes.
Jenna's like the opposite.
Yeah, I'm like everything excites me.
So tell
Like a
you have
dog
a couple. We did a
chasing
podcast
traffic.
on this.
Oh, you
On
did?
ghost stories.
Really?
So we always ask our guests, basically, if you have any ghost stories, because it seems like a lot of people have some interesting supernatural encounters, and it's
Didn't we have like
I'd like
one
to hear about it.
in like that we saw together, or like thought we saw like in our room, or was that maybe that was just a dream? I
Where-
thought we had like
Which house?
a recent one.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh,
I had one when I was younger. I went to an
oh
all.
yeah, her story is fucking terrifying.
It's not that terrifying,
It's
but I was.
Julian Spook.
It was
No, I'm spooked.
like I was done after that. It was like this is a thing. I went to an all girls like sleepaway camp when I was
Right.
like maybe 13,
Mhm.
and it was at Wells College, which is in upstate New York.
Mhm.
And you get there and they're like, oh, it's haunted. There's all these ghost stories that they tell you and shit, and all of those are whatever. But I was sort of okay, that's cool. I'm a little creeped out, but like I'm not totally bought in. And one night we stayed in dorm rooms, and my roommate, the other girl who was there with me, she always used to fall asleep before I would. And so I was just sort of laying in my bed and I couldn't fall asleep. And I saw like a yellow-green cross on the wall and all of the windows were shut. I know, it's fucking weird. It makes no
Cross
sense.
makes me nervous.
No sense. And then I was sort of laying there, like you sort of have this like, you're paralyzed with fear. Like I couldn't scream. I can't like yell to my friend. Like you're sort of just like waiting to see what happens. And I felt and saw something like depress in my bed, like someone was sitting on my bed, and just this like terrifying feeling of someone just sitting there fucking staring at you.
Oh my god.
And then I woke up the next morning and my friend actually was not asleep and had seen the cross on the wall too. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck?
So you guys were what kind of structure were you guys in?
It was a dorm.
You were in a building,
Mhm.
and projected on the wall
Mhm.
was some kind of glowing cross.
Did it look like a projector, or was it just coming out of the
It
wall?
just looked like
Was
it was
there
on the wall.
windows?
Yeah, we had windows, but the blinds were shut.
I mean, honestly, though, I think the two things together, though, her and her roommate saw the cross on the wall. You could explain that, but maybe somebody was pranking and throwing up a projection on the wall while into a dorm window that was open. But that doesn't explain the feeling of someone then sitting on the bed. And maybe that's just paranoia. Maybe that was whatever. I think all of the things together, it is weird. That is a weird one. This is probably one of the best ones we've seen today.
Okay.
Or probably the best one we've seen
And
today.
it was a
Maybe the best one out of all of
distinguishable
these.
cross.
And she saw the same thing and was also spooked at the same time.
Yeah.
The impression on the bed is what gets me.
There's no feeling like that.
And
like
you were
Because she like
couldn't move. Couldn't. It's like you're paralyzed with fear. It's fucking terrifying.
How old were you at the time?
Like 13.
And so you're in your bed and you see like the blanket go down as if
Yeah.
somebody's sitting there.
Yeah.
Did you sleep
That's
at all?
weird.
Did you
That's like
eventually
physical
fall
proof.
asleep?
Like what?
Yeah. I eventually fell asleep. Like, but that's the thing
Did
is
the,
like
did
when
the
you're.
crease ever lift?
I don't remember it
You
lifting
just
at
kinda-
all.
Yeah, okay.
But like what I remember was like just being there with fear. Like I don't even remember falling asleep. I don't remember ever coming out of that state of fear or like anything. It's like your adrenaline is like through the roof, and then you somehow just like.
Sounds like a shape that would shine through blinds. Yeah, that's possible too. That it's just coming in through the blinds.
Like pass out and wake up the next day.
Hmm.
It was
Like two pieces of light crossing from like two different angles or something. Like street lights casting two different lights at night or something. That's possible.
most fucking bizarre thing in the world. And then I thought I was crazy, and I
But
told
then the
my friend,
conversation with your
and I
friend
was like,
debunks
dude,
that.
last night I saw this fucking cross on the wall, and she was like, I saw it too. I wasn't asleep, and I fucking almost shit my
Was that a
pants.
relief to you to find out
Yeah.
that she saw it? Because you're like, I'm not insane.
Yeah.
That actually happened.
And she couldn't have pulled off some elaborate prank, right?
No.
Yeesh.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, that was about it.
I think in the grand scheme of things, we might have to give that one an S. It's definitely in this realm. I think that considering everything, Post Malone's were good, but he heard a noise come from downstairs. His was scary, and I think that's also the kind of ranking system we're adding on this is if I would be scared in the moment, if the happenings would put some fear into me. And I do think that if I had a bit of sleep paralysis and in that moment saw a cross on the wall, even if it was just shining through like blinds or something, it would definitely be terrifying. Especially like something that wasn't there before, something you hadn't noticed up until that point. But I'm trying to think. It's better than B because theirs was another sleep story. But it's another kind of inexplicable thing because Gary's was the sleeping, the dream about his father, and then finding the poster, within a couple weeks or something. It feels weird not giving an S, but I still feel like Jenna's was still A. Yeah, I think because of the fact that we could explain it. I think the whole thing is you need something completely inexplicable. Because sleep paralysis does have come with weird experiences that people have, and maybe those are the ghosts as well. But that isn't necessarily unique to this singular experience. But I do think it adds into the idea of it, given the fact that she was the only one that had sleep paralysis, felt this seat on the bed, felt this entity, whatever, sit on the bed. Where the roommate didn't, but still saw the cross. See, I would have liked to get a little bit more info. Did she explain to you how long the cross was there? Something like that, I think would give a little bit more context. That could put it up to S, but I think we'll just give it an A. I think that's true.
So
now we get a ghost story from Eric, Internet Comment Etiquette.
This is the segment of the show where we talk about ghosts, which is a weird little segment we do because I'm a very skeptical person, as is Hila. I don't really believe in ghosts, but the whole idea of the supernatural thing, supernatural thing, something that fascinates me because it seems like everybody has an interesting ghost story. So with that being said, do you guys have any ghost stories?
Or supernatural stories.
Supernatural anything.
I used to live way up north. My American auntie visited in winter, and when she saw the northern lights, she woke us all up and told us to get the guns because the bombs are dropping. What are you going to do, shoot them? The bombs are coming down. Quick, we need to shoot them out of the air. That is a great story.
As much as I like to listen to them, I still haven't seen much evidence that ghosts exist. I had one experience in one of my friends' houses, and I was super drunk during it, which I feel like most ghost stories tend to happen when you're super drunk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was just drunk as shit, and I was on the toilet, right? And
as all good ghost stories begin.
Right, of course, because the ghosts want to know what you're doing. They're like, I miss doing that. And they the whole night they've been talking about ghost stories in that house. And I was had it in my head. I was like, I really want to know if ghosts are real. So I'm on the toilet. I'm like, well, I got nothing else to do. Are there any ghosts here? And I'm actually talking out loud. I'm like, are there any ghosts in this house? If there are, please do something.
I'm intrigued by the fact that on the John you had this.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I was alone. I was like, no one's ever gonna know about this.
Just all of a sudden thought about ghosts randomly.
Yeah, well, it was an old house, and they were like, yeah, we have ghosts here, and they were telling their ghost stories.
Okay.
Yeah, they told me this shit is haunted, and I was like, I want.
They said this shit is haunted. That's why he did it on the toilet. Okay, that makes sense.
Want to see a ghost, and they were like, well, just stick around for a while. You might see one, or you might see something creepy. So I'm on the toilet, and I'm like, are there any ghosts here? If there's a ghost here, just do something. And a paper towel roll.
What do you say? Are there any ghosts here? No, seriously, where you guys at? Anyone? Really? None?
On the sink counter, rolled a little bit. And I was like, oh, that's a ghost! Now, in my mind, thinking back, That was obviously just the breeze coming in through the window, or probably
Weird
my
timing.
breath moving it while I'm like asking into the nothingness.
Either wants to believe in the supernatural.
No, but
I want to as
how would
well.
your breath move the towel?
I don't know, and
But a window would explain.
I think a window or something like that. But I saw a paper. It's the stupidest ghost story ever. Like Eric, how do you know that ghosts are real? Well, one moved a paper towel roll
I was
while I
on
was
the
taking a
shitter
shit
and I
once.
said, "Hey, ghost."
I mean,
I do have to say I'm happy that we have a different rating for one, because this wasn't a terrible story. This is just too goofy to be anything. It's too goofy. Maybe it was a ghost. Maybe it was your breath. Maybe it was the window, the wind coming in from the window. But on the John going, any ghosts here? They're trying to help me wipe. I don't even need to hear the rest.
it's a fantastic story.
Well, that's my thing with ghosts.
I freaked out though. Like I ran back into the room with everybody. I was like, guys, it's a fucking ghost. Move the paper towel roll.
That's my thing with ghosts is like, because we went ghost hunting with Post Malone once, and I'm like, and he kept being like, Ethan, stop talking because we're not gonna be able to hear the ghosts. And I'm like, these pussy ass fucking low tier ghosts better step their shit up if they can spook me over my own voice.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I would say is like, if that's the best you've got, you know,
Move the paper towel roll.
Yeah.
Like I talked into the beyond. I spoke my words into the
I touched another
existence
dimension of reality.
of an afterlife, and what they had in response was they made a paper towel roll go.
Some ghost was like,
But like I think on their
is
side they were
interesting.
probably like channeling it like.
that's a pretty good story if I'm being honest.
It didn't answer anything.
Yeah.
And I felt really embarrassed about getting so worked up about it in the immediate moments after. Because again, I was pretty blasted. So I ran back into this room, like 10 of my friends, who I immediately embarrassed myself in front of by being like, the ghost moved the paper towel roll, guys. Ghosts are real. And they're like,
right.
That's
Fucking
not
pussy.
what we're talking about. When we say this place is haunted.
They hear like shield babies crying.
Yeah. They're slamming doors. There's chains being dragged
Not
across
moving
the
paper
ground.
towels.
Yeah.
One sheet at a time.
It seems like it's always like you can find an explanation for it, or you gotta want to believe.
Yeah.
Yes,
And then
absolutely.
you like.
You have to make a leap.
I'll say that.
to explain it.
Having ghost hunted with Austin, who is a believer,
I can say that that's fine until you have an experience like Alex's experience, or like the one I had with my dad, where we're all sitting in the room. And years prior, I had seen what I thought was the ghost of a little girl in a white dress, and my dad just randomly goes to my sister, "Oh, did you just walk into the laundry room?" She goes, "No." And my dad goes, "Oh, I thought I just saw like a white skirt walk into the laundry room." In the middle, like it was probably like the afternoon. It wasn't even like late evening time yet. It was just like the afternoon. And like an experience like that, where it's just like kind of middle of the day-ish, just being like, "Oh, I just saw something that wasn't there," is definitely an odd thing. And maybe it's an illusion, a trick of the eye. But that's a very specific thing to have seen. Looked like a skirt, like someone walking into the laundry room. I'm just saying, maybe I just want to believe. Maybe my dad's just a schizophrenic, and I'm just trying to save face. Who knows? Maybe I'm a schizophrenic, and that's why I thought I saw a little ghost girl. Who knows?
it definitely requires, at least as I've observed, and suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's fun.
Although there were
It is
some
fun. I
weird
had a lot of
noises
fun.
at the end before we left.
But I feel like they're more, because you have to ask yourself, we went ghost hunting, we heard some really weird noises that spooked us all. But you have to ask yourself, what's more likely? A lizard or a snake or some kind of creature,
Just
or
an
a
old
fucking
house.
ghost
Right.
from
Yeah.
another dimension
Yeah.
shouting at. It's like, well, I feel like there's a better explanation.
I think that the score I gave it's fair. I think that C is good. It's a funny story. He was hearing a lot about other ghosts. I think that's fine. I think that's, we're rating them as stories as well. You know, this tier system is a little weird.
You got any?
But here we have Boogie's story. Boogie 2988. Alex says that Boogie's story is going to be an S. That's what he says. So let's see.
Books and Gives for
I
us?
feel weird about this.
You
one.
also don't have to have a
No,
story.
I do. And okay, so I grew up dabbling in a variety of Christian religions. My mom wanted to expose me to as many as she could.
Christian religion?
Christian religions, like there's
Like all the different
like
little...
Pentecostal and Methodist and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
Pentecostal easily my favorite because we went to this Pentecostal church and it was all about the Holy Spirit touching you and coming inside you and talking tongues
hell
and
yeah.
making you
Let's
dance
go.
and flop on the floor and stuff.
I've seen that shit.
Fascinating.
Dude,
to
when
see
I
in real
watched
life.
that, I'm like, this doesn't look Christian. This looks demonic.
Right, yeah,
This is like the
right.
Jesus camp stuff.
And so
Yeah.
like there's even like, which there's even like exorcism stuff in my history because my mom was like crazy, and so, but that all to me, I'm a victim of Munchausen syndrome. So how much of that is bullshit, right? Like how much of that is just story schema to manipulate me, right? I don't know. But here's something I can absolutely tell you beyond the shadow of a doubt that happened to me. So my mom passed in 2009, and I always wanted to be the good kid, you know, and I was the only one that would do anything for her, you know, even though I got the worst of it. I for whatever reason, I could see the heart out of monsters, and I wanted to be there for her when she died. And so I get a phone call one day, and they're like, you know, your mom is about to pass at the hospital. If you want to be here, you need to come. And I pack up all my shit, and I go there, and I sat next to her, and I hold her hand as she dies. And, you know, they give her morphine to help her go. I don't think a lot of people realize that. But they'll give you morphine in a lethal dose when they know you're going to die anyway.
A lethal dose?
Right, they'll give you a lethal amount of morphine to
Are
help
you
you
serious?
go. Yeah, that's something that's very common.
Wow. I didn't know lethal.
Right. Well, enough to where it's really going to
you're-
help.
Basically, you're not.
Right.
You're almost not even conscious at that point. Like,
Right.
You're not there.
Right. So, like in the case of my mother, all of her organs had shut down. She had 3 infections in her that were not reacting to antibiotics. She's absolutely going to die, and her heart is failing right now. So let's give her enough morphine to where when she dies tonight, she will die completely out of pain. She'll be completely unaware, completely comfortable.
Interesting.
And she's already in a medically comatose state at that point anyway.
Right.
So, held her hand as she died, and I'll tell you, I didn't know what to expect, but here's what happened. Nothing. Just nothing. She was alive 1 second, and she wasn't the next. And her body didn't change or transform in any magic way. There was no light, there was no poof, there was no wind, nothing. The machines showed that her heart was beating 1 second, and they showed they were flatlined the next. That was it. And the nurses unhooked.
Okay, so I looked it up, and it seems like the reason that is because they were giving her morphine in the process of the withdrawing life support. In those moments, because it says here the purpose is not to hasten death, but to ensure patient comfort by managing symptoms such as pain and shortness of breath. Because people talk about the death rattle and stuff like that. It's probably to help prevent issues like that could be jarring for people that are trying to see their loved ones off. Very sad though, but that does kind of make sense. I've always heard about morphine for the pain, but I didn't know about shortness of breath. But that does kind of make sense in that context.
Hooked her, and I sat with her, and I sat with her, and I sat with her, and I, again, just kind of comatose. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, And they said, you can take as much time as you want. I'm like, okay, I don't know how much time I want. I don't know what I'm doing. But eventually my friend Chad, the guy who I told you helped me keep from being homeless and lives with us now, he was in the room, and he's like, Steve, we should go. We got to make arrangements. And I'm like, okay. And, we left and did everything that had to be done. And I came home, and I was playing World of Warcraft. I decided the way I was going to cope with her death was to throw myself back into that game, make a few friends, and just play that game like a drug until the pain stopped. And so that's what I was doing. And I always spent Christmas with my mom every year. This is the very first Christmas I would ever spend alone. Now with my wife, the last Christmas I'll ever spend alone. I'm pretty happy about that. But in fact, in retrospect, it's the only Christmas I ever spent alone. Interesting. And I'm sitting there playing World of Warcraft, shirtless. I was so broke at the time. I didn't have an office chair. I had a stupid broken cooler I'd flipped upside down.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there on this broken down desk, this broken down chair, and this old alien computer, and I feel a hand touch my right shoulder.
jump. And I realized it felt exactly the way my mom's hand felt when I was holding her.
Wow.
Now, me and my mom had this arrangement, and I have it with all my friends, I have it with my wife and everybody else. If there's an afterlife, you need to tell me. If there is any way you can communicate to me that there is an afterlife, you need to come and let me know so that I can stop being a fucking nihilist and get my shit together, okay? If it's Christianity, let me know. If it's Muslim, I need to fucking know. Whichever one it is, show up and tell me so I can start doing that, okay? So that's the deal. So I stand up and I look around the room and I go, Mom? Nothing. Mom? Nothing. So I sat back down and I type in the chat. I'm like, you're never going to believe what happened. And I felt the hand on my right shoulder again.
That's weird.
Oh.
So I knew not to turn around. I'm going to cry. I knew not to turn around because I know she's not going to be there anyway. And I know on some level that that's psychosomatic. I know on some level that's just me processing the grief.
Where was it? Like here?
Yeah, right here on the right shoulder.
Got it.
And I know on some level it's psychosomatic. I know on some level it's just me, my brain processing the pain and figuring out a way to deal with it. And, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, do I know that? Like, do I know that's what it was?
Well, you have this deal with your mom. Do you think that she was fulfilling it?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what that means. I wish I did. I wish there was a moral to that story.
Right.
I wish I could say I figured it out. It turns out we all have to eat spaghetti every Thursday, and that's how we get into heaven. I don't, but I still to this day I don't know what it meant. I don't know what it was.
That's wild.
I have spoken to one therapist about it, and that therapist has said you're probably right. It probably was psychosomatic. You probably imagined the scenario. Were you sleep deprived during that period of time? Like, well, I wasn't sleeping at all for like weeks.
Yeah.
So that's probably part of it. It's just the grief process that strikes us all every possible way. But who knows?
That's an interesting story. I think I do maybe want to put that in S. Because, not that it's necessarily like scary or super terrifying. It might be terrifying in the moment if you just keep feeling it over and over again, but no one's there. But I think that genuinely having like having a moment like that is a very not just a personal experience, but a very moving experience. I think that we all kind of hope for those moments to be able to see our loved ones again in some way. No matter what it be. So next up we got Joey Salads, though. The piss drinker, Joey Salads. But also, I don't know, there isn't much of an explanation for Boogie's, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, he felt a hand on his shoulder, got up, wasn't feeling it, sat back down, didn't feel it, and then felt it again. I guess you could say like he was having a muscle spasm or something. But it's kind of a distinct tactile difference, I guess. You got to post this on the Reddit when you finish them all. Can't wait for Bobby Lee. It's coming up in just a bit.
Dude, welcome to the Spooks and Goofs segment of the podcast, which unintentionally became the only part people care about. So here's the premise. I don't believe in ghosts at all. I'm a very skeptical person. I don't believe in UFOs. I don't believe in any of that shit.
Wow.
But I'm open, right? Because every guest we've had so far had really interesting ghost/UFO stories. In fact, me and Eel have a new ghost story to share.
Yeah. You have ghost stories, and yet you don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, it just happened.
Yeah.
Everyone loves this segment, but
we're gonna hear a new Ethan ghost story. We might be able to pull him out of E.
Like, it's a good balance because a lot of our guests are really into it, and we kind of like, okay, well maybe it's kind of interesting. But I'm open, right? So Joey Salads, let me ask you, do you like salad?
I actually hate salads.
Do you hate salad?
I can't stand them. I hate the smell of it. I hate the crunching sound of it. Just,
oh wow!
But there's so
really
many levels to salad.
Yeah, how much? I didn't know you could hate salad on that many
just
levels.
meat and a slight bit of lettuce on top. I'll eat it.
Do you
But
eat?
It's not a
Do you
salad.
eat vegetables?
Sure.
Yeah, broccoli, carrots. Those are my two faves.
Broccoli.
He's pulling a Jordan Peterson right now, talking about green beans, talking about carrots, and Tell us, what's your favorite type of bean? What type of beans do you eat? Well, give us rice. Give us your rice recipe.
And carrots. You're sweet. You're a sweet kid.
Yeah.
That's nice. Wow. Well, I'm kind of disappointed finding you don't like salads, but regardless, on to the second question. Do you have any ghost stories?
I don't have any ghost stories.
All right, get out. Do you have any UFO story?
I
You
don't
have a
have any.
UFO theory.
I have old theories on ghosts and UFOs.
Yeah, tell
and
me what you think.
religions
Do you
involved.
believe in it?
What, ghosts or UFOs?
Do you believe in ghosts or UFOs?
Is it related
I believe
to
it.
Muslims?
And
What?
how does it relate back to Muslims?
I could make it relate back.
If you believe it. Don't I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not a Facebook.
That's not how I picture Joey Salads. I can only picture Joey Salads pissing into his own mouth on video because he literally did that. He can try and lie and say that it was AI now, but that video is not AI.
Watch
Well-
her. Give me the shit. Give me the real truth.
Well, my theory on ghosts is I don't really even know if they're real or not. It does seem plausible. I feel like there's so much to the universe, and this sounds like stoner talk, but I don't even smoke weed.
Let's go.
But there's so much to the universe that we can't even comprehend or understand. Like, there's got to be some other dimension or parallel reality to this one.
Yeah.
And, like, the energy and, like, souls. And when you think about that, it's like religion gives these answers, but are they even real? They're like, oh, you die, you go to heaven, your soul goes to heaven. Like, how do you know that, like, for a fact?
Nobody's ever crossed over.
No one, no one's came over and came
Except
back.
Jesus.
Wasn't he taking up body? Oh, you want
Did he come back? Anyway, let's not get into all that.
Yeah.
Jesus, he's a one of a kind guy.
Yeah.
He pulled it off. Nobody else has so far.
So yeah, basically, there's so much that we don't know. Like when you die, what we are, our ability to think and talk and move, and like self-consciousness. Like where does that consciousness go? Does it just end when your brain dies, or are you stuck in like an internal loop in your brain that feels like an eternity, and that's pretty much what heaven is in your brain? Or does you have a soul that comes out and goes to another dimension or heaven or hell or wherever? And if that is true, that soul and that energy of your body, it's possible it could be lingering around and doing things that you've done a lot, spooking people.
How do you feel about the theory of reincarnation?
Anything's possible. We don't know. Like how the hell are we supposed to know?
But like the theory, like the thought that like grandma died in this house, and now
then stuff happens that like,
grandma.
when you think about it, it's like say
That
that
seems
was
plausible to me.
It's like if you think like say that's my grandma's favorite chair, and every other day or every other week it just reclines randomly.
Yeah, I had to hit him with the 2 times. I can't listen to Joey Salads fucking ramble on for 16 minutes about his theories on ghosts and UFOs.
And it's like your grandma always used to recline chair every day, probably. I feel like that motion and that thing of doing something every day and you die, maybe it leaves like some kind of energy aura that just continues to do it. You know, like it's like mysteries. So you just never know. It's
Yeah,
like
I agree.
weird theories.
I do agree that there's pretty much like we don't understand a lot of shit. Just the very idea of existence itself is like such a weird paradox that it's
Yeah, and when people say they don't believe in God because it sounds like a crazy talk to think that's crazy. You believe in it, and a guy in the sky that created everything. It's like, is that any less crazy than us talking to each other right now and being in existence? What makes it have God any less crazy? You know?
No, I agree. Although my idea of God isn't like, well, this is Spooks and Gives on a different level, but my idea of God is not someone who like watches you masturbate or whatever, but like probably
So I just
whatever higher power is just kind of sparked the beginning, right?
It's like aliens.
God is an alien. Of
What
sorts.
created the aliens?
Wait, so Sean,
No,
what
I'm
about you?
I'm not.
Do you?
Yeah, I think. Think about it like this: if we're living 3,000-4,000 years ago and a plane flows over the sky, people can start worshiping that plane and declare a religion based off what it looks like and draw pictures of it and worship it and come up with stories about it. What makes you example? When, I think it was when Moses like escaped with all the slaves. There was a light in the sky that he followed, and it brought him to safety. Doesn't that sound like a UFO he followed possibly?
Was it Polaris?
Yeah.
North Star?
No, he said there was a I remember like seeing pictures of it in my religion class in my book. I'm like, it looks like a UFO. Like it was like a light in the sky that he followed and it guided him. And then when he went up on the mountain and he got the 10 Commandments or whatever,
right there in the Bible.
the burning bush, and it's like
God is an alien.
Doesn't it sound like it could have possibly have been an alien
Well,
helping him out?
I mean, if
It's
sure.
a theory.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mary,
but if you believe the story to begin with.
Well, yeah, exactly. How about this one? Mary, right? That gave birth to Jesus. Mary was visited.
I know the fuck.
Yeah.
Where the buzzers come and blow everyone up.
Think about this. In the middle of the night, Mary was visited by an angel, and was granted a gift of having
Sounds like she just got a little
impregnated.
fucking dick on the side. if you ask me.
Either that, and then
He's really just saying Jesus was an alien. Mary was impregnated. She was probed by aliens and impregnated with the seed of Jesus, with the seed that became Jesus.
he gave
More
birth.
plausible explanation.
She was visited by an alien, didn't have sex, was just pregnant, gave birth to a human with mystical powers.
That's why he could do magic. Yeah, I was about to say that's why he could do magic. That's why he's mystical, because he's half alien.
Everybody started to worship. That mystical person died, came back to life, died again. Wasn't he taken up into heaven, body and soul, lifted by the light up into the sky? Same thing with Mary. When Mary died, lifted into the light.
Well, the
Doesn't that sound
question
like she was visited by an alien, artificially inseminated, gave birth to Jesus, who had enhanced psychic capabilities because that's just the advanced alien race,
Jesus is
and then was
X-Men.
taken back up. Yes, Jesus was an X-Men.
X-Men's origins.
X-Men origins goes back to Jesus.
Sean, have you ever been spooked?
I've been spooked plenty of times.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you
Not necessarily ghosts, but
Sean.
I didn't expect you to be a ghost guy, but I'd love for it to be. Tell me, what do you got?
the most prominent one I guess I could think of would be I used to go to San Francisco a lot because we lived like 45 minutes south of there when we were in university.
Right.
And I had a buddy who was painting the William Westerfeld house in Alamo Square, which is like an old Gothic.
Talk about Andrew?
Victorian. Yeah. So we'd go party in the city, and I'd go spend the night in this spooky ass house. And one night, our I was in just really plain wood, red velvet room, just a bed, a rug, an old phonograph, and like a bureau. So I'm laying in bed, pretty straight, like not, exaggerated position or anything. And I'm looking up through my eyelids, but I can see everything that's happening in the room. Like, understandably, talking to people after this and reading up about it, it's
Wait,
more
what do you mean?
sleep paralysis.
You could see through your eyelids?
Yeah, exactly.
Sleep paralysis.
So I know my eyes are closed, but I can see everything that's happening in the room. And suddenly there's a man, a red-headed, short-haired man, standing next to the bed. He doesn't say anything. He smiles without showing his teeth. I don't know if I can do it. It looks goofy, but it was innocent. And I'm telling myself in my head to wake up, open your eyes. I can feel my body, but nothing can move. And so he actually steps into the bed. So he's like perpendicular with me.
It's like a ghost shit.
And he turns to face me as he's like halfway in my body.
Right.
And then I wake up.
Yeah.
Was it like a frightening presence?
It was frightening in the sense that I couldn't control anything.
But you didn't feel
But I was
threatened?
there, presence of mind and everything. No, it was very innocent.
Huh. What's your ghost story?
It's not even my story. It's my dad's story.
Okay, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, so I at least got something to share.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know. See, when I ever think of ghost stories, I'm like, there's got to be some kind of logical,
Me too.
scientific explanation to it. And I'll tell you what, my scientific explanation, what I think could have been it, but it doesn't seem to hold much weight because it sounds kind of stupid. But also, it's my dad. He could be bullshit. But he told me this story like a bunch of times, and the picture in the story he actually showed me like a few years ago, and it's a scary fucking picture. But anyways, my grandma, when my dad was younger, probably like in his teenagers, or
Joey Salads talks so slow. I'm speeding it back up again.
or preteens, whatever age he was, my grandma got a brand new photo of a saint. I forgot what saint it was, but it was like the patron saint of children.
Ooh,
And-
like Jimmy Savile, all fucking creepy looking.
It was like an old, spooky-looking photo from like the 60s.
This is the patron saint of children.
Yeah, it's like
of course,
a
of
scary
course, the
looking
patron saint of
thing.
children probably fucks kids like
Yeah,
crazy.
definitely.
Krampus for sure.
So my grandma put it on her wall, and like it's like, say this is a wall, this is my dad's bed, and that's was my grandparents' bed, so it's on the wall. And my dad was left alone the entire day into the next day because grandparents went away, and he was left to the house for over a whole day.
What was his age at the time?
He had to be in his teens or preteens. It was young. He was young. Not like too young, but he was like
old enough to be
old enough to
experience something like this.
Yeah. So what happened was he woke up in the middle of the night. Well, didn't wake up in the middle of the night. Before he went to bed, he cooked something, and he went back to sleep. And as he's going to sleep, well, I think he said he fell asleep, and then he woke up to like on the wall behind him, and he goes into his parents' room.
I'm staying in bed at that point. I'm
Right?
like, fuck this.
And he sees that the picture's moved. So he readjusts the picture, fixes it, it stops rattling. He goes back to bed, falls asleep, hears it again.
Are you making this shit up?
No,
Sounds
that's
like
what he
a
said.
punchline.
He goes,
Grab your leg under the table.
He goes, he fixes it again, and he's like, now that I'm up, let me just go into the kitchen, whatever. He was making something to eat or went to get a little snack. He went up.
He was
and
totally fine. He wasn't like spooked straight.
I don't know. I would have shouldn't
Kids
been.
were tougher back then, man.
Yeah, 'cause
He's like, the ghosts are
Yeah.
back. You know how it is.
Yeah, they're
I
back.
mean, you wake up twice to rearrange a picture to stop
Right?
ghost sounds.
And then he goes to the kitchen, finds out he left the gas on the stove. So he fixes it. Whenever he's like, oh shit, he fixes it, goes back to bed, and it stopped.
Patron saint of children.
So like that could have saved his life. Like the house could have blown up. One little spark would have blew up the whole house.
Jimmy Savile, the savior.
And then he fucked him. Always went to bed afterwards.
Yeah. Then he had a wet dream.
Then he had a wet dream. That's a good. That sounds like
Spooky.
It sounds like
That's
a
a wholesome ghost.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
wholesome ghost.
Story. It's like
That sounds like a
spiritual.
Hallmark
Yeah.
like special.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You want to tell them about what happened to us this week?
This week you had a ghost encounter.
So since we've been having these spooks and goofs segment, I've been like kind of heightened awareness on this.
Is this? I might be mistaken. Are they going to tell the story of the quote unquote blood on the wall? Is that what this one is?
Shit. So so Ela has the picture. We took a picture. So I'm lying in bed. It's probably about 12 o'clock. And I'm like, Ela, why is our wall bleeding? Like I say it jokingly.
I knew it.
And then so Ela's like, yeah, I just noticed it today as well. And we're like, wait, that clearly wasn't there because it's next to our
Yeah.
alarm and I'm there every night to set it. It clearly wasn't there.
It's like in the
didn't
bedroom.
sneeze or
where,
anything
No,
going
we
to
don't.
bed?
We don't eat there. We don't do anything there. It's the wall next to the TV. Like there's no
Dude,
way
indoor?
anything.
Indoor,
Yeah,
in our
in
bedroom, in a corner that we don't frequent. I only go there to set the alarm and I leave. Why the fuck We've never noticed it before. Where there'd be a red drip, like a good hefty drip.
A red run, huh?
Like
maybe
what?
one of you guys
It's
were eating like
it's even-
ketchup and was like
No,
telling a story and the
I have-
ketchup flew
I have-
off. And
So
We
this
don't
is what
eat
I'm
there.
racking my brain. I have never eaten ketchup. I have
You
never.
have anything red in the house.
No.
Could
We
be.
don't eat there
Is it
too,
still
like,
there?
I
we
wiped
cleaned
it off.
You should have scraped it off and tasted it.
I
See what
smelled it.
was.
And then, so I
I
smelled
said
it.
don't even touch it.
I touched it, and he was like, "Don't do it." I was like, "Well, what am I getting? Ghost AIDS?"
That's not how you get AIDS.
That's not how you get AIDS anyway. And then I took my dick out. I rubbed it on it.
Yeah, a little closer.
Full treatment.
So, like, what the hell? I was genuinely spooked, probably
and
for the
it's
first time.
darker and like the picture it looks lighter, but it was
Yeah.
darker in real.
Okay.
It looked like dried blood.
Yeah.
And like, I think for the first time in my life, I was like, "This is fucking creepy."
I would move out right away.
So then,
On account of that.
so me and Ela sat together and we're like, "Okay, we don't believe in ghosts. There has to be a fucking explanation for this."
But we were actually like scared
There
for
was
a moment
yeah,
there.
there was 10 minutes, and I was like, "I can't handle this shit." So we're thinking about it. We're sitting there, and then I look a little closer at this blood stain. And I'm like, "Well, it's kind of more brown
than
than red."
blood. Yeah.
Like, I feel like if it was dried blood, it would be more.
Yeah, it goes AIDS, ghost AIDS, super AIDS. You don't want to mess around.
A kind of darker, rustier color, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like too brown to be blood.
It's poop.
Yeah.
And then I realized.
Oh, this is where it gets
And then
good.
I realized there was a giant moth, like a really, really big moth that was stuck in our bedroom, like a couple nights, the night before, like one of the biggest moths I've ever seen, and it was on that wall, that side of the bedroom.
So it's moth poop.
I think
think
that what it
that's
is
what it
that's
is.
actually just a giant moth.
But if he just exploded,
No, he was there. We spotted him. You mean like poop?
Afterwards, not at the same moment.
It was the day after. Yeah, I think it's just a giant moth poop.
Immortalized forever.
That's a
on
big
the internet.
moth
That's a
poop.
big
Kind of
poop.
interesting. I mean, I'm
That
almost,
makes sense,
Yeah, it makes sense.
The fact that its weight carried it down that far.
But like that was like a hefty drop.
And
that-
you touched it, by the way.
I touched it, yeah.
Rubbed your dick
Well, I
on
was
it.
like trying to
your dick
see
on
what the consistency was, because I was
texture.
spooked, man. I wanted to get to the bottom of this shit. So it was just a giant moth.
But logic and reason prevailed.
Yeah.
And you just.
I've woken up to something like that, but it was just me having a bloody nose in the middle of the night and sneezing. It happens to the best of us.
We figured it out. We did. But
Yeah.
that was the longest I've gone. Like
Like 10 minutes of like, what the fuck?
seriously.
Every time. Okay, so we have another one to add on here. There he is, the man himself, Sean. I almost have to go back. I don't think Ethan moves up at all. Ethan's gonna stay where he's at. Ethan doesn't get a move up at all. It's just some ghost, some moth shit on his wall. Joey Salad's dad's story. His first, just him explaining his theories on ghosts, I don't care about. That would have been an E. But then his dad's story, I think, pushes him up to D, because that is like a crazy coincidence that he kept hearing this noise. But also, perhaps it was just maybe the gas leak was causing, some type of pressure change or something that was causing the painting to move. I don't know. There might be some explanation there of the possible reasons as to why the painting was moving, but I would still put it probably above E, because there's something scary about it. But what was Sean's again? I completely forgot. This is why these segments are too long.
Oh, we'd go party in the city, and I'd go spend the night.
He saw a ghost walk into him. I think I'm gonna put that one up with the Kleins, up with Donna and Gary. I think I gotta put that up there in a B, because that would be terrifying. Even if it's sleep paralysis, having the sleep paralysis like ghost, like the spirit, the dark like entity walk into you, that would be terrifying. So I am gonna put that one at B, because it is just sleep paralysis. Who knows? It's another example of something that could just be a dream. So I think it fits well next to Donna and Gary, whose were just dream stories. So we're gonna put it there. There's not that many good stories, but I think we are creating an all right graph at this point. Things are starting to move in a direction of some sort. We're getting through. We're on our last row here, and the rest of these shouldn't be too long. Yeah, the rest of them are a little bit shorter.
Do you have any interesting ghost stories, paranormal experiences, or
Yes,
anything?
Because this is Captain Disillusion, for those of you who don't know, an old guest on the H3 podcast who debunks crazy videos that are either fraudulently edited or just explaining odd happenings that come in videos. I don't think he does much anymore. I shouldn't say that without knowing. Let me look it up. Captain Disillusion. But I remember he was on like a hiatus for a while. Oh, it seems like he's still releasing stuff infrequently. 5 months ago, 10 months ago, 10 months ago, a year ago. But I do think it's funny that Dr. Disrespect came on with his look, but then Captain Disillusion was like, I'm coming to do the podcast. He's like, I'm not painting my face for this.
Well, because my answer is because I knew that you asked this, I tried to think really hard. What can I? No, I tried. I want to be fair because you know, everybody expects like I'm going to be like, nope.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't have anything.
Yeah,
It happens a lot.
Well, so the best, I mean, I want to be fair. I want to tell you kind of a story, like a highlight reel of several things. And you tell me, okay? When I was a little kid, like second grade, we had this weird schedule where our classes would be in the afternoon. So we'd be at school till late at night when it gets dark. And one time we were in recess and our classroom is at the end of a hallway with a stairwell where the lights are out and it's dark and it's kind of creepy. And we're at recess and one of our classmates says, oh, you know, I know this like thing where you say these incantations. If you do it in the middle of the night in a dark place and it's quiet, you can summon like UFOs and aliens from another dimension. And we're like, cool, let's do this. And we go into the dark stairwell and he starts creepily like sitting and just saying alien things in language. And it's like we're standing there and watching this guy speak in tongues, and then it's starting. This feeling starts to come over us, like some shit's gonna go down right now. Like I feel the presence of the thing, right? Smash cut to a few years later. I'm still a kid, but I'm like in my neighborhood. I had a best friend where we would like get into trouble, crawl into people's backyards, and go into construction sites and whatever. And he found out that we can.
I imagine it's a smash cut because nothing happened in that moment. They just ended up going like, well, no ghost, aliens, nothing.
Get into the attic of this creepy looking apartment building that we lived in front of. And it had this big communal, it was like from the 30s. So it was just a normal apartment building, but kind of creepy. And we found out we can get into the attic, which had no windows. It was just this crazy space. We walked in there, it's pitch black, and it's lit only by like a couple of pinpricks in the ceiling just to give you enough light to know that there's a space here and there's like objects that I can't make out. They could be monsters, whatever. We thought maybe it's haunted. We don't know what we're going to find there. So we creep in and it's like completely silent. You know that silence that's like, it's deafening in your ears. It starts to make that noise and we're like creeping through, making little creaks. Nothing. And then suddenly something pops out of a wall, like kind of from above, and just shoots at us with like this menacing like hiss, and just flies right at us. Okay, smash cut to.
I love saying smash cut. And
I'm building suspense. Now I'm a pimply teenager in high school. I'm already in America now, and I'm into martial arts and Bruce Lee movies. And I got this book on kung fu, and I'm. Like it talks about, kicking and punching, but also there's this section on what Shaolin masters, the amazing feats they could work out, and like you could keep picking up a big pot that you keep filling up gradually until your hand becomes so strong you can rip people's throats out, or you can learn to control your muscles over years until you can pull your testicles into your body to avoid kicks to the groin. Yeah. Or you can like rub some sand in a basin until and let it run through your fingers until eventually over years of practice, you just rub your hands in front of the sand and you start to make the sand move, and yada, yada, yada. You have telekinetic powers to attack people at a distance. And I'm like, that's the one. I'll take that one. I'll practice for years now. I'll do this. I'll get some sand from the beach, and I was on my way in practicing this. So what do you think the climax of each of these stories is? Can you guess?
I don't know. I'm waiting for the smash cut.
Well, smash and cut back. So the smash cut to the classmate in the stairwell. we just stood there for minutes until nothing was happening. We got creeped out standing in a dark place, and we just left. We just ran back to the class. The aliens didn't show up. All right. The thing with the friend in the...
He seemed really disappointed about that part. The aliens didn't show up.
Nothing was happening. We got creeped out standing in a dark place, and we just left. We just ran back to the class. The aliens didn't show up. All right. The thing with the friend in the attic, the entity flew at us, stopped, like hovered, fell down, and waddled away. It was a pigeon. Like we scared the pigeon. All right. Nice. Smash cut. We finally have our. You should have been doing the smash cuts the whole time.
The smash cut.
Yeah. And I regret to tell you that
this must have been pre-Zach.
Did not, after years of practice, or
That
actually
one just
more
had
like
no
a week.
conclusion at all.
Yeah, well, I kind of probably just spent a week rubbing some sand, but I do not have telekinetic powers. Or do
Would you
I?
admit it if you did? Well, so
probably not.
that was like an anti-ghost story.
Yeah. Well, my point in telling you that is that I don't want to. I'm not like a naysayer. Like I have a track record in my life of trying to find this phenomenon. I'm down. I was always like a scared child. Like I was scared of the dark. I was scared of alien shows or whatever. But I was curious enough to want to see these things. And I tried. I've done my due diligence.
Me too.
Bring it on.
You know, it makes sense why they stopped doing this segment. People just don't have that many stories. His story was good, and that's why I think I'm going to put it in D. Because, again, it wasn't a ghost story. There's nothing to believe. There's nothing to feel too much about. Captain Disillusions is going to go just in D. That's what I think. Yeah, that's my opinion. He was better at storytelling than some of the other people, so that's why he's going up a little bit higher.
You guys are into ghost stuff too, right? Or
So it's kind of a weird thing.
That's funny.
I'm not a believer.
okay, love that.
But I want to believe, a believer. And every time we have a guest, I ask them, what's a ghost story?
Okay.
Because it's a weird pairing where I'm a very skeptical person, but I don't know, our fans love it. So every time
That story was boring, the house. I think that Captain Disillusion's story was well put together. It was well structured. I understand what he was trying to do and like the whole way he was building it up. But at the end of the day, it's not anything about ghosts, or it doesn't really have anything to do about ghosts, and wasn't scary much at all.
we are here, we say, hey, what's your best ghost story? Sometimes they don't have one. Sometimes they got a great one. I am expecting there's a lot of ghost discussioning to happen here.
We're all expecting the best. I remember Shane having good ghost stories from when I used to watch Shane Dawson. See, I used to be a big Shane Dawson fan too when I was young. I was actually, it's funny, before I was ever into Leafy, I was actually a Shane Dawson and Onision fan. I actually fell off of like being a fan of Onision before all of the crazy shit came out about him and all of like the crazy stuff he was doing. And I just fell out of it after he started making content of him like just making weird passes at different like teenage fans and saying crazy like teenage girls in goth outfits and giving them like ratings and stuff. I remember just at a point going, yeah, you're a grown man. I'm gonna stop watching your stuff. This shit ain't funny anymore. And then looking back, I see how cringe his content really was. But anyways, it was in the same vein as Shane Dawson, though. There's a video of Shane Dawson and Onision kissing. You can find that.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how we started it. Why did we even ask it to begin
Must
with?
have been from Austin.
Oh.
Post Malone is like a big...
Shamefully same. He truly disgusts me now, though. No, I know. Yeah, it's like it was just the thing. It's the old YouTube. Old YouTube was full of either saints or demons. And you had to like pick and choose, and half the time you were wrong. And I think that's what's made me develop such a keen eye for those types of people nowadays. Because from a young age, I was looking into all of these different types of people, like Leafy is here, like Onision, and I dropped them once they hit a level of once I realized, the wool was no longer pulled over my eyes. Onision was the weirdest fuck ever. I went so far down his rabbit hole like 10 years ago. Disgusting shit. Keep in mind, I was like 12, 13. No, yeah, literally, it was in middle school. That's what I'm saying. I found Leafy is Here, and then immediately found H3 in like my freshman year of high school. I think it was either freshman. I think it was freshman year. So I found them like in freshman year of high school, but before that, it was like just a bunch of other YouTube stuff. A lot of I watched Good Mythical Morning, a lot of gaming YouTube and stuff. But like I watched a lot of low-key gaming YouTubers that some people might know. The one that I actually watched the most still does gaming content today, but much more low-key. The biggest. Does anyone know? Has anyone heard of Official Nerd Cubed? I think he has like a couple million subscribers at this point. I was watching him back in the Minecraft days as a young boy. But yeah, I was deep in the YouTube trenches. What can I say?
Ghost guy.
Okay.
He took me on a ghost hunt, and I was such a skeptic.
Onision like stole a teen from her family and legally adopting her. Am I remembering that right? So in the full lore, basically Onision has had multiple abusive relationships that he was the abuser in, that he's been abused in, yada yada yada. But in his most recent relationship that I think that he's in now is with I think they're transgender now or non-binary. But I remember, I don't know what their name is now, but their name was Lainey. And they were actually underage when they first started dating. And Onision was like in his 30s, I think. And then they eventually adopted a fan of theirs because they were in like an abusive family or whatever. Their household was terrible. So they adopted this fan, kept them in their home, and then basically groomed them and eventually had sex with them once they turned 18, like once they became of age. And then I don't know if anything ever came of it. I know that, or actually I think he was in court. He was in court recently, I think. I don't know if that's what it was about. But he's been having a lot of issues with court and stuff, things coming to light and a lot of stuff happening. But he also came out with a video at one point saying that she groomed them, like trying to be like the teen groomed us. She was coming on to us and this and that. Crazy shit. Yeah, actual psycho.
It's called asshole. That I was just goofing the whole time.
I've just got back from trick-or-treating and it was torrential rain. I was wet to my pants and socks. Oh my god, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you at least got some good candy.
But I guess you have to suspend your disbelief when you're doing that? Is that how you feel, or are you genuinely like...
Oh, I was actually a big Dan and Phil fan, too. I was a big Dan and Phil fan when I was a kid. I got into Dan and Phil after being put off Leafy and Onision. I was probably a fan of Dan and Phil during the times of Leafy and Onision, which seems like such a weird like dynamic to have liked all those things at once, but that was the case.
There's spooks to be had right here, like real spooks.
So my boyfriend is like you, very skeptical, and every time we've done something ghost hunty, he has a crazy experience. And it's almost like he fucking forgets it the next day. Like he'll hear a voice, something will happen, something will touch him, and whatever. And he's freaked out in the moment. Then the next day he's like, oh, I don't know, maybe it was just like the fucking wind or something. I'm like, we have it on camera. So I think if you're a skeptical person, nothing will really change that. Maybe for me, I used to be skeptical, and then when I was 11, I was laying in my bed, and I felt like fingers on my back, like one of these. And I heard happy birthday, and I thought it was just my mom. So then, like,
was it your birthday?
Yeah. And I had like a really bad birthday, and I was sad, whatever. So I thought it was just my mom. And then I turn over, and there's nobody there. Yikes. And I was like, whoa. So I run into my mom's room. And at the time, my mom's really religious. At the time, my mom's like, oh, honey, that was just your guardian angel. She knew you had a bad day or whatever. So at the time, I was like, okay, Mom, love the Bible, yeah. Later on in life, I'm like, wait a minute. That's fucked. That was a demon. That's something fucked up. Yeah. And then when I was 22 or something, my grandma died like a week prior. And then I was sad. And I looked up. It was like 11 p.m. watching Friends. I look over, and my grandma's standing in my closet, like right there.
You just saw your grandma full form.
Yes.
Staring?
Yes. Like standing there in my closet.
What was the vibe?
She was wearing a purple robe. She always wore.
Was it like a friendly visitation?
It was dark in my room because I was watching TV at night. And when I looked over, she was standing there, and it was a little dark, but I still completely saw her and her face, and she was just kind of blank faced, and I like froze, and I didn't know what to do. And have you ever like thought something bad was happening, and you just freeze and you don't know what to do, and you're shaking? So I did that, did that, and then I got enough energy to run out of the room.
Don't worry, Evie. We were all just talking about all the people that we are ashamed of having watched in the past. Except for Dan and Phil. Shout out Dan and Phil. They're together now. They finally just told everybody that they were right in their assumptions.
I like threw
You were
up.
staring for a long time.
It felt like an hour, but it was probably 10 seconds or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was just like this. And then I ran out of the room, like barfed. Like it was like really fucked up and intense. My brother ran, my mom, they met me in the hallway. And the craziest part was my brother goes, "Did you see grandma?"
What?
And I was like, and he's like 27 at the time.
Dude, I seriously
What?
got chilled. I never experienced anything like that.
Why did he ask that?
I was just like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." He goes, "Because right before you started screaming, he's like, I could feel her." And he had her coffee table in his room. And he's like, and I looked down at the coffee table and like, I just like saw what I thought was her in the glass of it. And then my mom was like, "I smelled her," because she wore the same perfume all the time. Like we all had the same experience at the same moment, which is crazy because my brother's total skeptic, but he's like, "I fucking saw her."
Was your grandma?
Did Shane really deserve his cancellation? His shit seemed tame to what Onision did. I mean, given the landscape at the time, I don't think Shane necessarily should have been canceled. He says, I mean, literally, his stuff was always trying to be as edgy as possible. He pulled from the most edgy type of comedy. And I don't think that... and here's the thing, maybe some of it does come from true internal depravity and stuff, and like internal issues that maybe he deals with, but it seems like in his actions he's never actually done anything like other than things like in videos that were like off color. Well, I guess the one thing he did was he would make sexually suggestive jokes about like his cousin or something, like to his like younger cousin. And not like anything even too graphic, but things that were definitely risque to be saying to a minor. But then I also think about like crazy shit my older cousins had said to me. But then again, it's also like that dynamic of he's an older man saying it to a younger girl. Yada, you know, I'm not going to yada yada it, but there are other elements to it. But then also a weird dynamic that he's had with his mother. He's cool with making weird jokes to his mom, so they clearly have weird dynamics within their family as well. It is like a lot to it that honestly is complicated.
A very big part of your life up until then?
She pretty much raised me, yeah. My mom was working a lot.
Interesting.
You know, so my grandma was...
So she lived with you.
He kissed his 13-year-old fangirls. Oh, I don't remember that at all. Yeah, that's probably the worst. That's definitely the worst part. Shane was hella racist, y'all. I disagree. Shane made a very off-color, definitely racist comedy. But Shane himself wasn't racist and literally had like one of his long-term friends for a long time was a black woman that was in a lot of his content and made a lot of videos for him. And when there was a video about him feeling uncomfortable saying the N-word and her making him say it, and at the end of the video is him outside saying it really loud and her like encouraging him to say it. So I don't think Shane Dawson is a racist person, but I think it's the same way that Jenna Marbles was making crazy Asian racist videos. It was the comedy for the time and definitely shouldn't be praised or seen as good, but I don't think that it says much about his true character. Now, the pedophilia stuff, that's where we have a real question. I guess it was just a lot. Very true. He's made little kids do weird shit in his music videos too. He's deaf a pred. Okay. I mean, I'll just take your word for it on that. Like I said, I haven't looked into it too much, into all of his like content, all of his stuff, but that does sound very bad. And like I've always said, there's definitely a line that you cross at a certain point, and using actual children is far beyond that line. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you make some crazy joke, that's one thing. You made some insane joke. You're making that joke to a kid. It's still insane. you actually have kids acting out things that are degenerate, then we have an issue.
Guys.
Well, this is the most fucked up part. So we go back to my bedroom. We're all holding hands. My mom's crying. Like, we would like walk in, and they're like, "Where did you see her?" And I pointed, and my brother goes, "Dude, look what the fuck you're pointing at." I was pointing at her purple robe that she wore every day, because that's the one thing I kept when she died, because like I just wanted to remember her, and it was hanging in my closet. She was standing right in front of it, in it. Yeah. Like, yeah.
That's crazy.
So then I went to a medium, and I didn't even at the time really believe in mediums, but my girlfriend at the time was like,
So a
"Meet with her."
medium is someone who talks to the dead. Is that right? Okay.
Like the Long Island.
Yeah. And this lady like doesn't exactly. This lady,
What did she have crazy hair? Or?
it was in her basement, which was a little scary. But
Okay.
she like solves murder. She works with the FBI. Like she doesn't really do it for people unless they're family friends. So she did it for me. And before I even told her anything, she was like, "Your grandma's here and she wants to talk to you." And everything she said was stuff I had never talked about. It was like, your grandma knows about your, eating disorder. Your grandma knows about this and this and this. And like, you are getting toward death if you don't figure your shit out. And it was bad. It was bad. Yeah. And my uncle, who I'd never told anybody this, my uncle killed himself, and I was really close to him. And she goes, "And your uncle's here." And she knew his name and everything. And she's like, "And he does not want you to do it." Because I was pretty suicidal at the time.
Jesus.
And he's standing behind me. That was when it was just like,
you must have just been like,
oh, fucked.
Electric.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, like this is all very real. It's not like, and dark. And that did change my life,
That would be a very formative experience in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's
so
crazy.
how old were you when you spoke with the medium?
I was probably 22, 23.
And that sparked and those series of events sparked your interest in ghosts and stuff.
Yeah.
So how do you see it now? Like, do you see ghosts as, in hindsight, was that a friendly visitation? What was it? Was it something that, is your grandma's spirit conscious? Was her ghost conscious? Or was she just kind of there, unconsciously floating there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think energy can't go away. So I think when somebody dies, their energy is still somewhere. So I think from what the medium said, when my grandma needed to tell me something or talk to me, she showed up in the form that I remembered her as, but that's like not what she is on the other side.
Okay.
So I don't really know. I think everything's on different levels. Like, how your dog can hear certain sounds that we can't hear, and dogs and cats and stuff can see ghosts supposedly.
I think we got his story. We're gonna move on. I'm sorry, I understand. We've just discussed how Shane is a bad person, but when it comes to the story, I mean, we've got Boogie in S as well, so. S stands for suck. They suck, but maybe that's why ghosts are following them. Maybe that's why they're haunted. Honestly, I hadn't thought about that. They need the spiritual realm to try and correct their ill behaviors.
Do you have any ghost stories?
This is Ghost Story from Vsauce 3.
Or paranormal experiences, UFO visitations, aliens visitations, anal probes, sounding. Did an alien sound you? Did you see a ghost? Whatever happened. Have you had an experience like that?
Man, yeah. Since we got super specific, an alien did sound me once.
Have you ever been sounded?
I've been rusty tromboned by an alien. His name was Michael. It was really weird.
Wow.
He was like,
Was
I'm
he
an
wearing a
alien.
sweater?
But what is it? He was like, oh, Vsauce, you got me again. No, so yes, I have some experiences with these things.
Really?
When I was a young boy, about 5 years old, I was setting up Halloween decorations.
That's not Michael. I always forget that the Vsauce has so many different channels, and whenever I click on like a Vsauce 2 or Vsauce 3 channel or whatever, I'm always like, I'm not watching this garbage. Who the fuck is it? No, I've watched a few of their videos. They're pretty good. I'm not trying to shit on Vsauce 2 or 3. They're all good. Go check out Vsauce.
And a UFO flew over our house, there was a forest across the street. And
Vsauce 3 did a good video about like if Superman could punch, like what would happen if Superman punched a human being or something like that. There was some video crazy like that I watched one time that was pretty funny. Just the concepts on Vsauce 3 are a little bit more like comedic, I feel like, where Vsauce tries to be more scientific, more reasoned.
I saw it and I went and...
Did other people see it?
I went and was like, Mom, and it was gone by that point. My mother actually believes that she has been abducted.
What?
She's a strong believer in that,
Whoa.
and she would sleep when my dad would be out of town. She would sleep with a knife under her pillow.
Whoa!
Because she thought that maybe the aliens would come back
Oh my
and
god.
take her.
Holy smokes!
Then she always would be like, "I felt like there was a presence in the room last night."
So can I ask?
She's weird.
Do you can I ask how do you corroborate those paranormal experiences? Because you're very scientific.
Yeah.
And
I love that my song's right behind your head.
logical person. How do you corroborate those two experiences?
I think, well, when I was 5, so my memory could be hazy because like our memory works that every time we remember it. Imagine a VHS tape. When you remember it, you're remembering it the last time that you remembered it. So there's little inconsistencies. Things change.
Like a
in the
phone
same way
call,
that a
telephone.
VHS tape will deteriorate the more that you watch it. That kind of happens. So who knows if I actually did? I think that I did, but I don't know if I did. I strongly believe when people
Well, that's why you try and remember things in the utmost detail to try and keep that memory intact.
see UFOs that it's just some military plane or something like that. Because I mean, there's just a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues when it comes to space travel. I
Yeah.
don't think that an alien would like come here. But who knows? They might. I do believe that we're not alone in the universe, but I find it hard to believe that they would be able to get to us at any point in time. Really,
I agree with that sentiment.
because unless they are so advanced, they like travel near the speed of light. In which case, even if they could, by the time they got home, time still is the same for their home planet. So like, cool, we're going to travel this distance. So it's going to take 20,000 years.
What does this have to do with ghosts?
On our planet, but for us, because we're traveling this speed, it's only going to be 20 years.
Right.
Time to get back, it's going to be 40,000 years later. Everyone's dead. Anyway, sorry. When it comes to ghosts and things, I do remember one moment. It was Christmas morning,
Okay.
and I woke up, and I went into the living room where the Christmas tree was, and it was pitch black. It was like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I saw my brother in the corner, and his back was to me, and there was like this weird fog around him. And I went over to him, and I was like, Adam, what are you doing up? And he turned around, and he just didn't. He like had a giant mouth as a face. Now, if this was real or just a dream, I don't remember anymore.
How old were you?
I was probably like 5 or 6 still.
How did you react?
It sounds like a dream.
I like ran back into
That
my
was a
bedroom.
spooky year for you.
It was. But I had these things, you know, where, like I was in my bed laying and I saw a shadow. But who knows? You have an over-imaginative imagination. I don't really know. I also don't believe in ghosts, really. I have a lot of personal theories about that stuff. I don't think ghosts are real. I think, if anything, this is, here I'm going to get, I'm not like a big spiritual kind of guy, but I do think, if anything, when we see these apparitions, that they might be just beings of higher consciousness. Because
Was that it?
at some point, you don't need a physical form. If you're just like pure energy, like you know everything.
Yes.
Like if you can actually conceive of what is nothing, then maybe you don't even need a form. So maybe that's what we see. And because I was like thinking about alien worlds, that we understand
So he's religious. He's talking about enlightenment. Once you reach enlightenment, you transcend.
what things are, because we have a very geometrical idea of everything. Like everything's a shape, right? You have a certain form, and your form is created by lines. So if we're to see something that didn't fit within that construct, we would have to put it in that to be able to actually see it. Right? Just the same way we can't see like dark matter, we can't see spectrums of light or color. Maybe there's certain things that we just can't see, and we don't know how to process it.
Or it's like that classic experiment with 2D world, right? Where if a three-dimensional creature goes into flat world, it just appears as a slice.
That's like you just can't comprehend it. You can't. How do you visualize it?
That's interesting.
So that to me is kind of maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just because there could be other things. There's so much that we don't see that maybe we
The
hit little
thing that
glimpses.
throws me off about ghosts is that it seems to be happening to the same people. Like I feel like 50% of people are like, I've never seen a ghost and I want to, but I've never had it. And then the other 50% is like, I see ghosts all the time.
Well, my counter to ghosts would always be, why don't we see the ghosts of animals? Like, why are there no animal ghosts? Why are they just chilling around? Why do we only see people like specific people? Like, shouldn't there just be ghosts everywhere? All over. There's more people that have died than have been alive. Like, shouldn't we just see ghosts all over the place? So I'm very skeptical.
And
I
they
don't
all
want
happen to
to
be from like 1950.
Yeah, it's like
None of
that's
them
the
from
time.
like
Boring. Vsauce 3 more like Vsauce nerd.
From like Genghis
Or like
Khan.
the 1800s. Yeah, we don't see like a caveman walking around, or a cavewoman. That would be cool. Or cave people, whatever you want. Yes. Just smoking the
People of
cannabis.
cave.
People of cave.
Cave origins. Native cavemen.
So I don't ever want to dismiss something immediately because who knows?
I find this point funny because it's like, have you heard every ghost story ever? Because I mean, that might not be true.
Right. You know, like we find out things all the time. We didn't even know that what DNA was until like 70 years ago.
I agree about aliens though. It seems so, with our current understanding of physics, it seems super unlikely that someone would go interstellar to come peep us out.
Well, there's also a lot of, again, there's so many things we don't know. Could it be that there's a wormhole we don't know about that they travel through? Like, if you think about a piece of paper, let me use a dollar bill. Okay, so we take time, and let's say like to get from this, also in the movie Event Horizon, you go from like point A to point B on a straight line. It's going to take you longer if you fold time, then you can just go right there.
And then
So-
do you have the time dilation issue if you do that?
I don't know. I would assume not, because time dilation happens from traveling at speeds close to or near the speed of light.
So then you zip on through the galaxy and it's all
You're
great,
just there.
baby.
But also the other thing too, like there's just a speed limit to how fast communication can travel, which I talked about in the video for traveling light. Where like I always love in movies, like in Star Trek, like okay, like hey, home base, where like the Klingons are attacking, send someone to help us. It's like cool, that message will get to them in 4 years. Like you'll be dead. Everything will be done by the time you actually get that message.
You know, it was a really cool answer to that paradox in Ender's Game. They said that, and it was later confirmed by this thing called coupled particles, coupled atoms.
Yeah.
This weird phenomenon where two particles or atoms get joined, and if you put it on the other side of space or wherever, they move in sync together, regardless of the space between them. And so, like, theoretically, that could be used for something like that could be used for deep space communication.
Well, I think everything's theoretical, but there's, I mean, again, it could all be plausible. We just don't know.
That's kind of an asshole response. Everything's theoretical. You know, shit.
So much more that we have to discover.
Yeah.
Which I think is, I don't know.
Boring. That one's an F. That one's an F. Is that even him? I think that's him. I let this one play. I know. It was very loud.
It's customary that
Bobby Lee
we
time.
ask our guests if they have any ghost stories
Last
or
few.
paranormal
Of course I do,
experiences.
yes.
Ghost story, UFO encounter, unexplainable shit, whatever you got.
Well, my brother and I have talked about this because my brother has his own YouTube channel and whatnot called the Stevie Weeby Show. And my brother and I grew up in a town called Poway, California. What's going on?
I need water, sorry.
Okay.
I'm parched.
And we know that half of our house.
No one ever has a Sam Squatch theory. We need more. We need more Sasquatch theories. We need more. We need more squatches. We need the slug squatch, the eagle squatch. They're all out there. We just need to search.
Was on some sort of Indian burial site.
That's his
because my
classic.
brother and I would hear demons. We'd see demons.
Collectively, you would both hear the same thing.
And what my dad said later in life was, he said to us one day, he goes, I don't believe in a ghost, but every time I park my car after work, I run through the hallway because I feel weird.
Really?
He felt, but that's where my brother and I's bedrooms were.
He just left you in the
So he
trenches
just
with all the
left us
ghosts
in the fucking
running
ghost-
past
Yeah,
your
yeah.
bedroom.
But my dad would run past our bedroom.
You used to see your own dad running.
Yeah, because of the fact that he felt an evil presence there. In fact, one day I thought I was possessed, and for me to get out of it, I jumped into the swimming pool.
Guys, I'm staying the night in the city with my sister and some friends. Do you think I can bring a stuffed animal to sleep with, or should I jump instead? Need to know. Grown adult, by the way. Do whatever's comfortable for you, and if they ask any questions, use the I'm going to use it as a pillow. Use that cheat code, that exploit real quick.
Yeah, we had a swimming pool. We did pretty good in life.
Killer.
But
Not
yeah,
good
we
enough
were-
to get an unhaunted house.
Yeah, then when we moved out and it stopped. But my brother and I were both possessed several times. We felt.
How did you know you were possessed?
Because we felt a demon. Like we would hear things, and then there were times when we would like be asleep but awake, and we couldn't move, and we felt this presence. And it's never happened after.
You
or
jumped out of
before
a
that.
window into the pool?
No, we had one floor.
Okay.
But I would run out of my bedroom one time, and I fucking jumped in the swimming
Did
pool,
it
and I
work?
got out of it. Yeah, I got out of it. Yeah. But yeah, we were. There was some sort of evil presence.
Have you felt anything like that since then?
Well, at the Comedy Store, you know that place is haunted.
I haven't heard
And
that.
I saw Gus a couple of times.
Was that a ghost that lived
Yeah,
there?
there was a ghost named Gus. He was in the 50s. He was a mob.
I've heard him tell this story a couple times, so I think this is a true story, or just a lie. I guess if he's telling it a few times, it doesn't mean that it's true. He could just be repeating a joke, right? Could just be a lie.
Mafia henchman that apparently was murdered at the Comedy Store. It was a club called Ciro's at the time, and I've seen Gus a couple of times.
God bless
And that's something that other people have seen there?
Oh, Gus levitated Sam Kinison by his ankle and above it, because Sam Kinison and Carl LeBeau, when they moved from Houston to the Comedy Store, they used to sleep in the main room. And one night, and this is what I heard from Carl LeBeau, because obviously Sam Kinison is dead, that one night he woke up and that Sam Kinison was levitated by his ankle upside down. Yeah.
Huh?
I could tell. I mean, next if I ever do this podcast again, I can tell you a million stories that happened there.
Really?
Yeah.
So
But
when
we've
you-
been
when
2
you-
hours deep.
When
and
you
I'm
saw
hungry.
the ghost, just out of curiosity, how did it?
Me and my
appear
friend
before
Johnny
you?
Sanchez did a gig in Bakersfield. This is back in the 90s. And I parked my truck at the Comedy Store parking lot. At 4 a.m, when Johnny dropped me back off at my car, we looked up, and there's a window on the top floor. We looked up, and we saw a faceless man wearing a top hat with his hands against the window looking at us. And then we looked at each other, screamed. We looked back up. He was gone.
Oh,
I feel so bad.
Twice.
It's customary.
No, that one's pretty good. I think I'm gonna put that one in S as well. I think that one's a pretty good one. Because that's like a couple instances, and I have actually heard other people talk about the Comedy Store and other clubs and stuff like that having ghosts in them. Because isn't the Comedy Store? Or never mind, I was thinking of a different one. I was thinking of the Viper Room. Because the Viper Room's where River Phoenix died. I had to check. But I think that's an S tier. I sleep next to my Bo Blacks plushie. You need to.
So we always ask our guests at the bottom of the show.
I love Harley's laugh. He's got such a good laugh.
If you have any, and it's okay if you don't have them, okay? Paranormal, extraterrestrial, or unexplainable stories that have ever happened to you. Ghost stories.
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay,
I do.
God bless you. What do you got for me?
So
All right, looks so different here. The new look I definitely like a lot more. He looks like a real proud boy, if you know what I mean.
I was dating this girl, not my ex, or my ex, but the other ex, before Epic Mealtime ever happened, in my basement. And I always felt like weird vibes in my basement. Like I'd wake up sometimes and I felt like I couldn't breathe, you know? And I'm not someone who's like, there's ghosts. But I am someone like, maybe there's ghosts, you know? I'm like, you know, I'm very like, anything is possible to exist or not exist. Who knows?
Go to certain trouble. Can someone grab him? Let him out of the room?
And so what happened was there's this ghost in history or in different cultures that sits on your chest.
I've heard, yeah.
And you could wake up maybe like, or in your dream you can't breathe, or you're kind of awake and you know you're napping, but you can't breathe. And it's like hard to breathe. And it's like there's this, I experienced it. I remember experiencing it and Googling it and then finding that in culture, there's just like this ghost that sits on your chest. Whatever, you know, it's a thing, whatever. I had these weird experiences. And then I remember being in bed with my girlfriend at the time, and it felt like we're both in bed, and I wake up, it's like 4 a.m., and it's black in the room, all the lights are off, and it felt like someone was at the edge of the bed, kind of like pushing down on the bed, and it felt like the bed was moving a bit, and I felt that, and my face was up against the wall, so I like put my finger on the wall to see if my finger was moving, or if I was just imagining this bounce, and I felt my finger like going on the wall. So I was like, feels like someone's here. And so I roll over this way. So I'm facing her now, but you know, I don't know if she's facing me or if she's sleeping, whatever. And I roll over and she just goes, Harley. And I was like, what? She goes, there's someone here. And I look at the foot of the bed, and
that would actually terrify me. I would just jump up. You'd have to go ape mode.
Everything's black. But at the foot of the bed, it's extra black, like really dark, like ultimate darkness. So there's just like two things you could do here. I could scream at the top of my lungs, or I could fight. I kind of did a mix of both. I like stood up and I was like, ah! And like fell through whatever was there or wasn't there, and my light is behind it. So when I fell through it, I hit my light, and my light turns on, and she's got tears all over her face. She was like, there was a ghost here for like 20 minutes. I swear he was there. Don't freak out. And I totally thought there was a ghost. I was like, oh, don't worry. I wasn't going to be like, oh my God, I felt it too. So I was like, oh, don't worry, you stupid idiot. You thought there was a ghost here? No, that's so dumb. You must feel foolish. And I'm like, we'll just keep the TV on if it makes you feel better. You know, I'm like putting the TV on and keeping the light on and everything. And like, it was a weird encounter. Fast forward a week from then. I wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm just drenched in sweat. Like I'm sweating, I'm drenched, and I'm like full on like having rage sex. And I'm like, what?
When you wake up?
I wake up and I'm doing it, and I'm like covered in sweat, and I was like, what? And
You're
I,
in a sexual act when you wake
I'm having sex.
Okay.
I'm having sex right now, and I'm like, what is, I like pull out, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, what are you doing? I was like, what happened here? She was like, I don't know. You just got really one-track minded about it, and you wanted to do it. And I was like, oh, I did this. She's like, yeah. I'm like,
He's like, whoa, a ghost just fucked my girlfriend. Oh my god. He used my dick as a ghost dick. No.
It wasn't me. And she was like, no, it was you. And I'm like, no, I think that was the ghost from the other week that did this.
He wasn't sleepwalking. He was sleep fucking. That's crazy.
And she was like, what are you talking about? And I was just like, I don't know. I'm sweating and I don't remember starting this. And that's not, when do I ever do this? And I don't want to do this. And I think he's fucking with us, or he fucked you, or whoever that is, or whoever the ghost was, that I didn't do this. Look at me. I'm soft now. I don't even want to be here. I didn't want this activity to
You were
occur.
actually having sex with your girlfriend.
I was fully having sex.
Okay,
I woke up
okay,
and I was
got it.
in the middle of sex.
And then all of a sudden you were like, wait.
I was like, whoa, I'm awake now.
Right.
Who did this? She was like, you're being weird. Why don't you just bang this one out and let's get back to bed? And I was like, no, tell me, how did we get to this place?
Crazy.
And she was like, you did this. She was like, you woke me up, you didn't say anything, you were just really one-track minded about it. I was like, whoa, oh my
Is that the
God.
only time that's ever happened to you?
Those are the only scenarios that happened. Her and I didn't stay together much longer anyways, and I didn't stay in that house much longer anyways. So I don't know if it was her or the house, but those were the encounters. That time that a ghost fucked my girlfriend.
You know, I was rooting for him, but I think I have to put this one in the C. The too funny. I was gonna put him in B because it was similar to like the having the ghost walk through him, a lot, in bed type of thing. But he also had his. Maybe this does go in A. This does deserve to go in A because he has a corroboration from his girlfriend at the time also seeing it, or also feeling this presence. It was just so goofy though, that last one. Ghost fucked my girlfriend. God damn it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and used
Through
me
your
as-
dick. Yeah, through your
used
dick.
my pathetic dick as a mere vessel for this.
Of all the dicks in the
of
world.
all the disappointing dicks in the world, mine was selected as.
I mean, let me just put it this way. If I can sleepwalk and unlock my phone, like go to an app on my phone and use an app to turn off the TV in my room, I think you can start having sex while sleepwalking. I think it's possible.
Ghost dick.
All right.
To be
Well,
exercised.
that's kind of an honor in a way. Yeah, spooky and flattery.
I jerked off with holy water to exercise the demon from my dick the following day.
That's the Pope recommends that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, on the Pope's website.
Yeah, Pope.com. That's great. Thanks for sharing that.
Hey man, you told me to.
Can I say that I've had experiences. It's a type of sleepwalking. I happened for a period of like a year or two where same thing would happen to us, where I would wake up having mid sex, like I would wake her up and initiate it, and then come to.
Imagine how sad it would be though if during that moment it's like better sex. If in that moment she's really like, oh, you woke up, that would make you feel bad.
Not remember it at all.
I'd be like, oh my God.
I was waiting to see if you'd bring it up, but yeah, it was.
That's so funny.
She's like, how much do you want to humiliate yourself? I'll let you do it. No, I don't
Well-
mind talking about it. It's just a weird thing.
And didn't you feel that
Not-
that ghost you was even?
Sleep sex is a side effect of a lot of medication though. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I saw you guys talking about Ambien and stuff. That's very interesting. That's a side effect. Sleep fucking. You may sleep fuck. It's read. They read those really fast, so you don't hear that part. The side
Even better than
effects.
you?
Probably
like he wasn't
was.
self-conscious. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I like after that, you're like, oh, you thinking about ghost, eh? Thinking about
Thinking about
ghost
ghost
dick?
me?
Yeah, I bet you are.
No, but it was
pig.
so weird because Ethan was just like he's awake, like himself, talking to me and everything. And then he just wake up all of a sudden, like, wait, what's happening?
It's a weird one, man.
Isn't that strange?
It was
And then it
happening-
stopped happening too. I don't know.
Is it the house, you think?
It happened in Israel.
I would always wake up and be standing in the middle of a dark room. I think I was sleepwalking too, but it's the weirdest experience. That is really odd.
Only.
Just waking up like that.
I don't know. We moved.
I feel like
I don't
Israel's
know.
old enough to be pretty haunted.
There's so many ghosts fucking taking over my dick. In Israel, everyone's dick gets taken over every once in a while.
I find some places to be more haunted than others. And every time I go to Hollywood, I walk into a hotel. I'm like, this place is so fucking haunted. There's so many disappointed ghosts.
Did I ever disclose what my costume is? I'm number 1. I've said it. Come on, do I need to pull up a picture? I'm wearing the brown shorts and everything.
That died here that just wanted so much more than they got,
right?
And now they're bound to this room, and I'm trying to sleep.
Oh no!
You know, I have an audition tomorrow, and
this is the
this
shit
ghost.
that's haunting me.
Yeah,
I couldn't find a red turtleneck. It was hard.
Yeah, this ghost is just pissed about this.
They're gonna curse your audition.
I've been cursed so many times in Hollywood hotels. I just feel like every single one is like, every time I go into a room in Hollywood, I'm like, someone died here sad.
Oh, no.
Like every single room in Hollywood.
Right.
I'm like, someone had a terrible death in here.
Oh, that's probably true.
We got a room in
I'm number 1 after smoking the aged cigar.
Vegas, and there was blood on the ceiling.
On the ceiling?
On the ceiling, and I came and I was like, oh my gosh, with my brother. I was like, Darren, I'm like, look at this blood. He came, he went like this. He went, ass blood. And I was like, who said that? Who told you that? He goes, I just bet it was.
Ass blood.
That's what he said, ass blood. For him, he assumed that ass blood would get on the ceiling first than any other blood.
I'm trying to imagine a scenario where that happened.
You want to see? I want to see your fiance's outfit. Do you want to come and show it one more time? Can you hear me or no? She might have her headphones on. You're laying down. I'm sorry. Oh, gotta sweat down a little bit. Yeah. It's a good costume. I think they came out pretty well.
Number 5.
Like that he shoots a bloody diarrhea on the roof?
I don't know. Every scenario I want to share is terrible.
Ass blood.
Yeah, ass blood. Then he came in, he was like, oh my God, ass blood. And I was like, who said ass blood? And he's like, it must be.
It must be ass blood. That's what I think. I think that his fits good in B. The first story he told, the fact that he has the corroboration from his girlfriend at the time, I think works. So I think that's good. And I think that we're this list is coming out pretty all right. I think that we're doing justice. The fact that I made this the comedic tier, I think, is why there's so few here. Because I would say the ass blood. I think I have to maybe put it here. The ass blood, the sleep sex. I think it's a little too goofy for me, Harley. You took me out of it. You took me out of the atmosphere of the first story. Yes, codename Kids Next Door. Yeah. If this Halloween special doesn't come out soon, I'm going to end up falling asleep. For some people, it's not even going to be Halloween anymore.
Stories. Paranormal experiences.
Now we got Ninja. The last two are Ninja and Oliver Tree. 2 goats of the H3 podcast.
Are unexplainable things that happen in your life.
Dude, okay, so this is something that I have a couple, I think. And one of them...
Nice.
One of them was Jess was gone. My wife was gone. She was in Florida, I think, with her girlfriend that she loves. They hang out. And I was with the dogs. I was alone, just finished streaming, went upstairs.
No, see, they're usually a bell curve, but I think this proves Ethan's theory that it's hard to... ghosts aren't real. It's hard to have a good ghost story, I think. Most of the time, it's just people kind of meandering and kind of just going on and on about basic things. Oh, I was eating green beans. Oh, no one wants to eat those green beans. They were sitting in water for hours.
And I'm like, okay, it's time to go to bed. Turned off all of the electronics, like everything. Went upstairs, had the dogs in bed, and like when one of us is gone, like they are super sensitive to like a lot of like sounds and stuff. But it's also super sensitive when music starts playing in the middle of nowhere downstairs on our speakers. Which is what happened. I'm home alone. I'm already freaked out, right? And out of nowhere, I started hearing a song that I've never heard of that's just playing on my speakers. I'm like, why turn everything off? What the hell is this? I go downstairs.
Ninja talks so fast. I need to slow him down. Let me slow him down a little bit.
I'm checking my phone to making sure I have all my Bluetooth off. I'm going downstairs to my computer, making sure somehow that's it. So I literally like I shat my pants, man. I have a katana, dude.
You had a fucking katana?
I have a katana, man. I pulled out one of my
Ninja
mods gave it.
downstairs with the katana.
Yeah, man. I pulled it out. I was on the phone with Jess. I'm like, baby, this just happened. It was the creepiest shit ever, man. It turned it off.
So what was it? You just turned off the...
I just turned off the sound system again, which I
Right.
already did before I went to bed.
Huh.
And it was loud. Like,
Is
the
that
music
in the
was playing
place you're in
loud.
now?
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't happened since.
It hasn't happened since.
Oh, that's
It was a
creepy.
one-time thing. And then, dude, Jess actually, I think she.
I mean, I feel like everybody's had that experience, right? Where you accidentally, like, something just starts playing on a speaker. You're like, what the hell? You're like, well, where's that coming from? And then you figure out that you accidentally had a window open or something.
Dude, she's all about that shit. She has
Really?
a crazy story. Oh yeah, man.
Here, I'm gonna try and listen to it
one
on
of
the
the
speed again. Let's
one of
see.
the creepiest things that ever happened to me was like it was more like a demon thing, like weird thing, like the hour, the whatever it's called.
The witching.
He does sound like XQC. He is the American equivalent of the XQC. Wow.
The witching hour.
What, like
At
3 a.m. or
At
something?
3 a.m. I woke up one time and I didn't like smell burning. I smelled something fucking weird, and I woke up on the dot at 3 o'clock, and it was after I already watched like a movie, and I literally never felt more scared in my life. I felt like someone was watching me, someone was staring at me the entire time, and I stayed awake for like 3 hours straight.
Oh God.
It was fudged up. I like
Yo, he would look really good with a low taper fade. Low key, his haircut here is kind of beat. The layering here is chopped. And I don't even mean that like in like the new sense. I mean literally, they just cut here, and they're like completely different lengths. That looks terrible.
It was the most insane thing in the world. Oh, here's the story as well. So it didn't happen to me, but my wife's friend, her name's Morgan, she literally has a cousin or someone who stayed in a house and 1 million, like, it was like legit, like 1 million%, like there was like a spirit there. He had a name. They talked all the time, and she said that they never felt threatened unless her husband was home. And when her husband was home, so we were assuming that like the spirit was like a dude, because like the male, and so like when the husband slept like in the room, he was like, dude, he could never sleep in their house, in their bed. They moved. They ended up having to move, but there would be unexplained activities. Wow. She would literally talk to him and be like, and like with Morgan like there, and be like, hey, like, yo, what's up, Frank, or something like that? Can you like open the blinds, and the blinds like shutter? Like shit, you know, it was like direct contact. It was fudged up, man.
Whoa.
Dude, I literally was freaked out for like a week because I thought
Just from the story.
Yeah, the story alone, because it was, and she was like, she swore like on her like.
Well, they moved. That's
they
pretty
left.
serious conviction.
Yeah, that's serious if you have to move.
Come on, man. Screw it. I would be out so fast.
Well, how many times before that stereo keeps popping on until you bounce?
One more.
One more time. That's it.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
That's good.
I don't fudge with that, man. Like my dad was in college. He was doing a paper on like it was like possession and stuff like that. And it was one of those papers where his professor said, once you pick your topic, you're done. Like that's it. You have to do it. And he literally said as he started to read into the lore of possession and demons and stuff like that, that he felt that stuff like around him, and like he was kind of open, like it's like a gate, right? You open, you start, now that you like
become more aware,
you become more aware. You're opening yourself, you're believing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is possible.
Yeah.
And so he literally went to his professor and was like, I will literally fail this if you don't switch. Like I can't do it. Like he wasn't able to sleep. He was having nightmares. And
he was. What was he studying in school?
No, it wasn't studying. It was just it was just literally just a paper, like a research paper.
Oh.
So it wasn't like he was like studying that. No, it was simply just like he was just like, oh, screw it, I'll pick this topic. Fudged up, man.
That's crazy.
I believe in that stuff. You have to.
Do you? But most importantly, do you use a katana for home defense?
Absolutely, man.
Fuck, dude, I'm not. Get
Dude,
sliced.
It's real, man. I've cut like some watermelons and stuff. It's super cool.
I've got some watermelons and stuff with it. It's super cool. So true.
I mean, it's legit.
Cool. Is
Don't
it
break in.
Cold Steel?
I can't really talk too much about it.
There's this company called Cold Steel.
No, no. My one of my moderators got it for me. So
Oh, that's
like
fucking nice.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
man. I think he was like my longest time mod. He's at like 7 years. He was subject like 7 years, something like that. And he came over and visited. And
Okay, so the ghost story's done. I genuinely thought that was a decent story. He kind of the stuttering through everything kind of got me. I've got to be honest. What do you guys think? I find it kind of difficult. We're on Oliver Tree as the last one, but where do we put Ninja? Ninja's story wasn't bad. You know, he heard a song playing, and then his dad did a research paper. Maybe D. I'm fighting between. Does it have a swastika? Does his sword have a swastika? I don't know. That's a good question. Someone should ask him. I think D is fitting. I feel like D is fitting because there wasn't like he heard some scary music, right? Am I missing something? I don't know. I only caught every third word. That's kind of how I felt too. Is the story itself was very much kind of lacking at the end of the day. But we have one more story to hear, and that is the story from Oliver Tree, his ghost story. I'm really wondering if it's just going to be a load of baloney because it's 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So let's hear.
You ever had a paranormal experience with ghosts, UFOs, aliens? Have you ever had a paranormal experience?
This isn't something I really like to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
This is after they knocked his wig off pretty good.
Something that I've shared with very many people, just a couple close friends.
Right.
But when I was 8 years old, I saw a ghost at my grandmother's house. She has this room that's filled with like all these horse, like what's it? Some kind of horse pony type toys that are on the walls. And I was sleeping one night. I'm sitting in there, and I hear this voice laughing. And I look over to me, and there's this, I don't want to say, it's just this shape of an outline. I can't really say, I couldn't really make out what it was exactly, but I've seen this ghost. And 6 years later, when I went back to her house, I saw the same ghost. And then I found out, she said that my grandpa apparently haunted the place. And so I'm not sure if because my grandpa died before I was born. So I'm not sure if it was him trying to connect with me or maybe it was one of my cousins trying to fuck with me. I don't know. But like, you'd think 6 years later, I'd be able to tell, like, I'm a grown-ass man by then.
What did it look like?
It's kind of like a round, kind of a round orifice. You could see the aura. That's kind of the best way I could put it. You could see.
Did he mean amorphous? You said orifice, like orifice? It was just a round orifice in the sky.
Aura, and I was kind of taken back. I was like, is that Grandpa?
You said it. Wow, dude. That sounds emotional.
Yeah, it was fucked up, bro. And that was the first time I met my grandpa.
Okay, well, we know where that's going. He goes straight in E for just telling a lie. The biggest liar ever, Oliver Tree. And that actually is our H3 ghost story tier list. If I missed any, maybe we'll come back and touch this up, add a couple to it. If more ghost stories are ever told, I will react to them and we will add them to this list as well. The crew might have some too somewhere. I didn't see any. They have to, now that I'm thinking about it. Whatever, maybe we'll do that another time. But I really do appreciate everybody that stopped in. This is the end of the stream. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There is no H3 stream today. There was one yesterday. If you missed yesterday's stream on the H3 podcast channel, go check that out. There is an H3 VOD that should be going live at some point. But yeah, I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I also come on Saturdays sometimes, come on Tuesdays sometimes. I did a stream yesterday on Thursday. You can check that out as well. We have a whole lot of fun here, don't we, folks? But thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. This is Cap and Quasar and number one signing off.